Hi guys, it's your girl Tai Iku and you're now locked into World Africa Day of Play with BlackGirlGamers.
Shit. Nobody like me, body like me. Baby, when I pull up Gucci, all in my jeans. Big lollipop, baby, lick like ice cream. Big bad ways, Mr. Shift your panties. Fuck you to Bujo Banting or Bujo Benzing. Girl, any record, girl, I go make you sing. Now she the pray for the cocoa, my sing. I got the holy water, baby, make it come soon. My pocket full of money, yo. My heart is full of loving, yo. Whoa, whoa. Nobody better for the dancer, no. Fine lady, she the bounce along. Skin tight for your body, yo. What you do when I him, I want to know. Don't stop, make you drive me home. What you do when I him, I want to go.
Come here, wait till the water you. Green body make I rock, yeah. I know you seen your me. I get the money pass your papa. Wait till you want way I know feel do for you. Why you want the booga one? Share you be kiss than any. You better drop your body and move suck up. Suffer with this body. Make we run, I'm on a low key. Baby, you know me. They get us to go move where you know go. Green. Come make a drive your come make a drive this your jalo. Please, baby, allow me. Tip you off with the alawi. See body, oh. See body, oh. Egg by me, oh. Boss in my bololo. Boss in my bololo. Please help me, oh. Me, I don't jump.
Yo, creep. When we shot a head half, and I take them broad and the chop at them tag. Swat the drop at dead dog. A real gunshot and never clap as them tag. Make you want red and make a head a shell half. This king digging in a man a dead tag. No safety, me make the chica press tag. Head shed anyway, the killer them
I'm
one.
loving on your dress tonight. I dey in love with your sexiness. I'm loving on that perky breast. Don't deny what you feel tonight. Say it's a gangster party, I'm a gangster guy. I know if we end up for your place tonight. Many talk, no they full basket. And I go fuck you till the morning time. Oh,
No. Give me the thing I going dumb like whoa. I need somebody that will blow my mind.
Baby, juke bag, girl, no loving. No long talk with the sex, I feel good. When it be long, baby girl, I choose you. 24 days with the fuck with no breaks, like
We're not in on a long talk. Come let me put it on you. Wait, slip it and slide. Set, slip it on tight. We're not in on a long talk. Come let me put it on you. Wait, slip it and slide. Set, slip it on tight.
Girls in my crib, 0 Snapchat, 0 Instagram posting. Fuck up the vibe, my dick start falling like London Bridge. I don't care if I saw you in a magazine or if you're on TV, that one don't mean nothing to me. Don't need a shower, baby, I need a free. Lick it like ice cream, as if you mean to be disgusting. It's not enough. Chop my banana, one side I like and no stopping. Push up, fuck that. If I go Dorado. I saw a champagne in my boot. I get the girl from the ghetto. Got girls from uptown. That's the life of a city boy. Oh yeah, damn man. Oh yeah, jello. Oh yeah,
Not like a bad bitch. I've been looking fine through the madness. I can find a nigga who can do. I can find nobody that can manage. Instead I found you, can we go?
it's whatever you want.
Can you move it on the floor?
It's whatever you want.
Can we bring it to the back?
It's whatever you want.
Can we do it on the track?
It's whatever you want.
Baby, hold me down. I got feelings for you now. Where you love me, where it hurts. We can talk, just stick around. So I won't stay.
Emotions ain't cool, you know how it goes.
I don't wanna play.
It feels too strong now, I really gotta go. Out in the streets.
In the streets, take me off the streets. In the streets, take me off the streets. In the streets, take me off the streets.
Now which kind life where I never see? I carry God, so I fear nothing. Steady increase in the commands. Command. Original no be parody. You know fit clear for your memory. Whether now winter or summer, I get like I just savannah. Living life, see my fire burning bright within the inside me. Smally way they mighty, they never know high color. To the more fine, check and balance everything inside my mind daily. Trust me, you can't fool me. Energy don't got logo, more friendly and conscious. I'm allergic to circles, so I'm not ready for confusion. They're telling me make I show love, stability on bono, everything a connection. I'm not ready for confusion. Sabi girl no they too like talk. Animals they in human form. Body man nobody like walk, but you must hustle if you want job. You no finish they won't fight us. If them they run them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No con they form say you too like us. Me no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want telling me could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap in no wrong. But it rush, whatever, it be much. Now gotta make my tap in the rush. Think I'm on your touch. Yeah, it rush, whatever, it be much. To be hype, everybody it rush. There's no jolly with us.
Turn up your body, make you feel alright. Flying the kele, we go cool my mind. I won't do anything I want tonight. Make we do anything we want tonight. Turn up your body, make you feel alright. Flying the kele, we go cool my mind. I won't do anything I want tonight. Make we do anything we want. Say I go take, oh yeah, quick. Oh yeah, quick. I go take, I go take, I go take. I go take, till I go take, oh yeah, quick. Oh yeah, quick, I go take. She want me pay, oh yeah, quick.
Body they draw me like a bono. Body they rising like a no. I say color your crocodile, no good this locodo. Kelly they bossy my pololo. Can make a salute your commando. Kelly fi balance echo, I give paper. No go do me Diego, my Maradona. Kelly fala pio sueto, na mo farisa. Kelly your back keep it connected. Yo crezco. Tell me where you there, como que se lo que go and a kilometer for your mess. No gotta shika, the get shika say me so go shika. What is the use of my money? Shika smoking, not I gonna need it. She want you for more garaya, you know me, I be with you. She say baby, yeah, by me, oh, your thing they touching my belly, oh baby, come and salve for me. Hallelujah. As I see him, hallelujah. Tell if you balance.
Mama can't be so. Girl, you won't capture my soul. Mama can't be so. Make you one bolombo. Peru, pa. I'm loose. Even Peru done the para. Tonight in Josie, I'm in Josie. Won't call if you want one Josie. I'm not playing with you, I'm not joking. My thought of mom is loaded. Me, you can fight, but I'm on board. I'm on duty, but I'm on low-key. They want do me. They want do me, gonna want do me. When you won't want me, I'm in San Francisco, Jammy. When you won't want me, I just flew from Miami. I'm
Let bless you with body, oh baby. Oh. Star boy go bless you with money, oh my girl. Let bless you with body, oh baby. Oh, star boy go bless you with money, oh my girl.
Yeah, well, suck up, 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 baby. Suck up, suck up, suck up, suck up, suck up. Oh, yeah, give him lock up, lock up, lock up, lock up. Yo, 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 yeah, give him, baby. Suck up, suck up, suck up.
Oh, when I come through, they know we survive, so they turn up all eyes on me now. So many things we fit to do with your magical hair, baby. Stop getting plenty money. Now you know what you gotta do. When she low for me, show me how to do. No doubt I'm the one for you. I'm the one gonna tell me every time you do. If I do like Orodo, I'm a year for the matter for the show.
I love you fight kung fu, but I go fight for you. I got my eyes on you. You got vibes on you. I know if you die for you, ladies, but I'll live my life for you. I got my eyes on you. You got vibes on you. Jack, I love it. We could go on a vacation, have fun maybe all night long. Jack, I love it. Yeah. We could go on a vacation, have fun maybe all night long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
boost my confidence. My cocaine, my heart desire, give me nothingness. lover, my mommy water. Give me happiness.
Oh yeah, the pantas, 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 the pantas.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me. 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 And I'm sorry for who won't be my matter. Sorry, I'm only human. So make nobody para. Say I carry woman. She na man way I for carry. Fuck all the rumors. I need that when I talk, say I be pastor. If you know you, it can walk. If it's not, I got talk. Call only go. I did your day. Me and the body, they get I'm unavailable. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable.
I enter from my putra go kwakwalata. Money mota kasu face I want. I know fit for some me feel don't pass my power. I roll up a shawarma. I get for kwakwalata. I enter from my putra go kwakwalata. Money mota kasu face I want. I know fit fast, I know fit do pass my power. I roll up my shawarma. I get for kwakwalata. da 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 da.
Yo, Kelch.
Say you're bad from rich bad. Tell a pussy we no gun dip dog. Like Chinese war so the clip tag. Show it up and make you fall from your disc tag. You know one on a disguise, man a big tag. I saw you disappear as if you never did ban. Me no walk up a kilo, me no just a sing song. With the people your mother tell you keep fam. Z-Tech full of bam like Islam. And if you make a come me know the enemy, them a pray. And me know they not sorry for me. People are ball and a screen, cause we bad than we mean. Bloody crime scene calamity. I saw we shoot out, we and figure Canada G. Make them have a experience, no gravity. Tell a pussy real life, you know take that. All your little people are dead that. You should have keep it in your bed that. The Taliban them a make war. Real life, you know take that. Badness how we end that. People feel up in a bed that. No Taliban's like that.
Nang Colorado, toaster. The kiss star like Fokker, yeah. Pull up in a beam, too much, too clean, I'm taller. Aye, don't foster. Serious and daughter. A big time player, trip too big and ganja. I went flexer, yeah. Tina said gym, yeah. Too hot like a heater. My neck done froze like winter. Don't bet it on me. Liquor, yeah. Shay's told me picture. MJ on the sheet, thriller. Funny vibes every night. Enter, Nang Colorado, toaster, yeah. I can start like Fokker, pull up in a beam. Too much, too clean, I'm taller. Aye. Don't foster, serious and daughter, yeah. A big time player, a trip too big and kind. I went flexer, yeah. Tina said.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to BlackGirlGamers World Africa Day of Play, our showcase of the latest developments coming out of the continent of Africa. We are thrilled to have you here with us, and my name is Mary. I'm the content manager for BlackGirlGamers and a variety content creator and a born and bred Nigerian. So I'm here to rep my Niger folks today. Yeah. And I'll be one of your hosts for this exciting event. Joining me is my wonderful co-host, Asia.
Hi, everyone. I am so excited to see these game developments today. And my name is Asia. I'm a whimsical variety streaming photographer based in Indiana. And before we jump into the panels and games, we're currently raising funds for Project Hope and War Child, which will help various countries in Africa, such as Ethiopia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Namibia, Zambia, and Congo. So your contributions can provide people and communities with critically needed aid and hope.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to learn more and find out where you can donate, please type !hope and !war child to support the cause. We appreciate all contributions, and if you can't financially contribute, please feel free to share the link with your friends and family.
Yeah. Please support these organizations in their endeavors to make the world a better place. So we have an incredible lineup of panels and games for you today, and we can't wait to dive in. Yes, let's check out the trailer for the first game of the day, and afterwards we'll have an exclusive interview with BGG and the founder of Surgeon Studios, Abubakar Salim and Salam, and for Tales of Kenzera, Zhao. Let's get into it.
No, I'm going to offer you this game, a game from my old man. I hope you like it.
Oh, nah, this looks wonderful.
I love it. I want it. I love it.
Oh, hell yes.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You should not sneak up on people, young shaman.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Ooh, damn, bro.
See, like, this is what we mean when you're like, can we please see something different?
Hi, Abu. Good to see you again. How have you been?
I've been all right. I've been good. It's I'm learning a hell of a lot about game dev.
We'll get into that in a minute. The first question I wanted to ask is, have you found a place to hang your painting yet?
Oh no, I'm looking avidly. Like it's funny. Like me and my wife are genuinely like, what, could we put it on this wall? No, then it will be missed by this. And then if we look at, oh no, but that would be really look good. And so yeah, we're literally looking for the right place. But what's so great is that I've been showing family and friends who have ever come in, and I've been like, look at this came from the game. Like it's a reaction from the game, and everyone's like, wow. Yeah, I'm loving it. So it's good.
That's awesome to hear. For anyone that hasn't watched or didn't catch it yet, we actually held a YouTube live stream with Abu a few weeks ago to be able to talk about and recount the tales of Kalunga, the Bantu god of death. So if you haven't seen it yet, there should be a link in the chat. Please feel free to go and watch that one. But in the meantime, we do want to talk about your entry into game dev. You started off in acting. You've gone a little bit further into like the geekdom space more and more with Assassin's Creed, and now Game of Thrones or House of Dragons. House of the Dragon. I feel like by people.
I always call it House of Dragons as well. So don't worry about it. It's. I think that's the reason why. Also, it's that the handle of the show is House of Dragons.
Okay, not wrong now.
It makes total sense.
So how has that transition been, just from going into from being an actor into now game development?
Yeah, again, like it's quite seamless in the sense of like it all stems from the place of just wanting to tell stories and wanting to really share stories. And so, you know, again, the role as the actor of telling stories is no different to a developer in a way. It's just a different way of doing it. And I think like that's what I've been just, you know, discovering and sort of jumping into as a whole. It's just finding other ways and means of telling cool stories.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the game's been out for almost exactly a month, I think, or
yeah.
How's it been so far? What's the reception been?
It's a roller coaster, man. Like it's funny. Like I think there was it felt like a celebration and a victory on the day of launch, and then the next day it almost feels like you're grieving. Like it's because again I think it's that whole thing of you've put something out there that isn't yours anymore, or you know you kind of let something go in a way, and yeah, I've kind of gone through this phase now of I can't believe it's been a month. Like it's gone like so quickly, but also at the same time I'm like, yeah, it felt right, it felt good, and it's the reception. It just people keep talking about us, and people keep, you know, playing it and experiencing it and sharing, and that's such a wonderful feeling.
Yeah,
like it's such a wonderful feeling to feel like, you know, you are affecting people on such on an emotional and human level. Like it's really beautiful to witness.
For sure. Was there any feedback that's been surprising or that you didn't expect so far? Apply to live painting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. The painting is definitely one of them. But no, I'd say like everything has always been quite a surprise. You know, the positivity, the negativity, even at times. Like I think like it's all been, you know, funnily enough, it's been really useful. Like I found elements of it being quite useful, especially, you know, feedback, because again, you can kind of filter through like the useful negativity and the terrible stuff. But like what you end up finding is that everyone out there really just wants to have a good experience and they want your game to succeed. And so, you know, some of, you know, the positive feedback we take on board, and we, you know, we really kind of like, we're in this sort of quality of life phase right now where we're trying to improve the quality of life of the game overall. And so like we take the positive feedback and we're like, but then they're like, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that. Like they could have been nicer if you know, made like Fog of War or whatever, do you know what I mean? And whereas like, you know, the negative feedback of like, it just felt clunky, it felt like this, and you're like, cool, we'll take that on board and then we'll also use that. So it's just feedback, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to have a good time. So yeah, we've just been building on that and really playing with that as well as a whole. So yeah, it's been great.
Nice. So I'm curious because the ZOW is one of the or the first, I think, game under AAA umbrella that's completely playable in an African language. So especially for this kind of event, I mean, what does that mean for you, and what do you think that means for the African gaming community as well?
So just to kind of point out, we're not AAA yet, but I tell you one thing, it was an amazing feat to get EA to do a game in Swahili.
Yeah.
Like through and through.
What were those conversations, like a meeting room?
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's honestly, like, I remember pitching this game to them, and, again, it's like, this is the first time ever, small studio kind of thing. We are indie, we're working with a very indie budget, I can feel it. But like, one of the things that we really wanted to do was say, hey, we want Swahili here. And we want Swahili, we want the Swahili voiceover to be of a caliber of like what you would listen to in like a Dragon Age or or a Mass Effect, right? And they were like, we've never done Swahili before, and I'm like, great, then we can all learn. So it was really, that was something that to me was really important, because again, it's about pulling from not only my perspective but also the authenticity of it all. Like, it's so important to be authentic. It's so important to be real and truthful in these aspects. So yeah, that was kind of where it all kicked off.
Yeah. Nice. I did want to talk about the beginning and first stages of the development of the game and just where you even start.
Oh man, you start everywhere and nowhere. I think, for me, where I started or how I began, I knew that I had to tell a story about grief and about that journey of grief. And because it was so related to my father, it had to almost represent and respect my relationship with him, in the best way possible, which was, in my eyes, it was a video game. And so for making Zhao, I knew the character. I kind of started with the character, which was Zhao. He was always going to be called Zhao. And it was one of those ones where, again, I had an idea of how they would look, how they would, how they would behave, how they would act, and the world in which they were going to be in, which was going to be a representation of the loss of their father. Right. So something, and that's kind of how it started. When it came to, then you just, for me, then it was like, okay, cool, I've got this idea of how this character looks, I need to see it. So then you contact artists. So I contacted a Nigerian artist called Godwin Akpan, who essentially gave and created the concept arts, the early concept arts of what Kenzera was going to look like, and build it from there, which was really awesome. So yeah, so that's kind of how you start in a way. Sorry, my daughter's screaming in the background. I don't know why, but she's okay, guys. She's okay.
She's well fed and taken care of. This is sweet. I know so the game was meant to explore lots of themes of grief, of loss. I'm curious, just from my own perspective, having played the game for the past few weeks now, is it also meant to explore rage? Rage? Yes. Okay.
It explores because there's well, I mean, I think I'm saying yes now to cover my bases, because I feel like I've been receiving a lot of rage from all the chase sequences and all the boss fights, so I'm saying it's all intentional.
It's like, maybe this is just one of the stages, like we're going through the stages. You're just times that I've had to put my controller down, just like out the window.
It's okay to hate the game, like, I'm telling you. Like, I went through the same thing, right? But the thing is that I needed to share the same feelings with people. The thing about those sequences, and this is the one thing I remember talking to the team about with these chase sequences. So I remember playing Ori and the Blind Forest and doing the waterfall chase.
Yeah.
And that drove me nuts. It did. After having played it, though, and done it and mastered it, if I was to do it again, I feel like I could, pretty much, conquer it, right? But the feeling of accomplishment was akin to that of the way that I felt during playing Sonic on the Mega Drive when I did less casino level, which was a pain in the ass. And I remember playing that with my dad, and I wanted to capture that. I wanted to capture that feeling of it's strife, it's difficult, you have to go through it, you know, and especially in the two spaces that it appears in with fear and also, you know, after the one of the boss fights. It was important to kind of capture that. So I totally get when people are like, I have tried this 40 times. Yeah. This isn't now. This I can't do. I can't do this.
It's like I'm not going to get over these bikes. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Honestly,
I'm supposed to go.
Honestly, but when you do it though, that feeling's good, right?
I'll put it down for like the rest of the night, and then I come back, and then I beat it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I just beat it.
It's amazing. It's like, and that's essentially it. Like, you know, I remember again. I think the games that I really struggled playing when I was younger and couldn't complete. If I tried it again now, I feel much better at it. But it's because of time, right? And I think that's the thing. It just takes time. I remember the biggest advice I'd give to players, if you haven't got to there yet and you haven't done it, or if you're stuck there. The best advice I can give you is find the rhythm of the chase. Don't rush into it. Don't run it. And this is the same thing with every combat scenario as well. Because everyone's like, oh my God, I'm being swamped. I'm panicking. It's like everything has a rhythm to it. And that's, I guess, the sort of the representation of grief that I wanted to capture. It's like sometimes you can feel being overwhelmed when you're on this journey of grief, when you're in it, when you're in the eye of the storm. But truly, like, if you find that rhythm, it will all make sense.
That's really helpful, Sam. I know we talked about the last time that we were all together, we had also talked about the next iterations of the game and how you might, how that story might expand. Do you think that it would stay within the platform kind of Metroidvania style, or do you?
Oh no! I think it'll be it could be anything and everything. You know, the way I've kind of designed the universe of Kenzera is it respects the story first, the human story first, before it goes into the gameplay aspect or anything like that, you know? Like, there's nothing stopping us from exploring, for example, like a roguelite or like an open world or, you know, third person or top down, you know? I think that's the kind of space I wanted to create with this and build from this. So yeah, everything's game.
Do you have an idea of, just because I know people are already wondering, do you have an idea of when the next iteration is going to be ready? How much longer do you have to wait?
Oh man, you can't ask me that kind of question.
I know it's only been a month, but are you working on the next one right now?
I mean, like, we are. Like, we're conjuring and cooking. Like, you know, the team's kind of like working on quality of life features for Zao at the moment, but also we're kind of planning what our next thing is going to be. So yeah, we're definitely cooking. It's funny. It's like we're in a really weird time at the moment in the industry where it's like it's hard to say like a definite, because of how sort of unstable it is. So we're just sort of in this space of like, let's just keep our head down. Let's, you know, the more support we get, the more people who buy our game and play our game, like the more it just shows like, hey, people want this. You know, and I think like that's kind of, you know, where we're at the moment. Like we're showing even like no matter what's going on out there that people actually want this, and like yeah, it's just the more of that we get, the better, and the more risks we can take essentially.
For sure. Was that something that you were thinking about as the game was coming to launch, like just everything that's happening in the industry and how people are going to receive it?
Yeah, it was a thought, definitely. I think it's, you know, it's definitely something to think about and to kind of see. But again, at the same time, you've got to also connect with, like, at the end of the day, you were just there to make an art. You know, you're there to kind of express yourself, and that's the best. All you can do is your best, and that's kind of what you need to be driven by, in truth. Because, yeah, you can't control how the industry behaves and how it works. You can affect change. And, like, you know, this is something that I'm really kind of keen on. I've got my ideas and my thoughts as to how to make those changes and how to kind of better elements. But you can only get there once you've proven yourself and shown, like, hey, I do have a voice, you know?
For sure. So I don't know if you've seen this trend online across pretty much every social channel, but the challenge is when you post your game and then you state the 3 games that were inspirations behind.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
So are there 3 inspirations?
Yes, there were. I actually took part in it. I actually said and these are the 3 games. It was Ori and the Blind Forest, Kingdom Hearts, and Devil May Cry. And really, truly, like the reason why, you know, Ori and the Blind Forest, again, as I kind of mentioned, it's a great world of kind of making you feel like you're escaping in it and kind of losing, you know, getting lost in it. I would say like Kingdom Hearts is one of those games which, I mean, I think it's just an incredible game. Sorry, it sounds like a war as well as happening outside my house. My house is in the middle of a battlefield, everybody. East London. But no, yeah, I would say like, you know, Kingdom Hearts was one of those games where it was the first time I had met a protagonist or was, you know, playing as a protagonist who felt weak, who was vulnerable, or like, you know, who didn't necessarily see the potential of their own self. Every time we've kind of gone into these games, there's always been like an action man kind of hero, right? Whereas with Sora, if they feel, you know, from my perspective anyway, it felt like Sora didn't know what they were doing to begin with, and they had to learn as they went along. And that was something that really resonated and stuck with me. And that was, you know, one of the big influences. I mean, even like our title screen before you get into the main game is paying homage to Kingdom Hearts. If you look at the art style,
look at that again.
Yeah, you should look at that. And the Devil May Cry was the final game, and that's because in its combat, there is this almost feeling of like a chaotic ballet or this dance that, you know, you can spam the buttons and not know what you're doing, but you can also find the meticulous element and surgical element of it all that I really wanted to capture, because again, it felt like this was the perfect way of kind of also describing grief. This feeling of not really knowing what to do, or, you know, you're given all these tools or these things that you know have to do, but you then have control over them. You have agency when going on this journey of grief, right? Whether you go forward, go back, like a lot of the agency falls on you.
Do you think, like, as you expand the story, you'll continue to explore other emotions as well, or is it more focused on the mythology, the spirituality side of the story?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think ultimately, you know, when we look at other games and other ideas, we always start with, as I say, I call it the human truth. Like, what makes us human? You start from there and then you build out from there. I think, you know, and that can be, for example, like right now it was grief, you know, it could be love. It could be, you know, it could be elements of, you know, parenthood. Like, I think like these are the things that really interest me and excite me in regards to telling stories. It's like, what makes this story human? And then you build out from there, you know?
Definitely. What are you playing right now?
I'm playing Dave the Diver, and it's amazing. It's incredible. Huh?
Which platform is it on?
I'm playing it on my Steam Deck, and like it's on. So yeah, it's on PlayStation. I think it's on it's on PlayStation and Steam and PC, and I'm loving it. It's like I can switch off. You know, I can just. It's incredible. Like, all I care about is my sushi bar, man. Like, that's all I care about right now. It's like making sure that I've got enough fish for my sushi bar to, you know, to turn profit. Like, it's so good. It's so good. And yeah, I'm loving it. Like, it's a game I would never normally play. Like, I've never played these kind of games. Like, normally I'm a Hades guy, or like, you know, but I've also kind of put into myself, like, I've got to try everything. I think, like, in the same way that when you go and watch a film, you're not going to just always watch Marvel films. You're actually going to try and dabble in other elements and other things, right? Because it's an art form. I'm kind of trying to approach that with games as well, and kind of approach it in the sense of like, oh yeah, I'd never play Dave the Diver normally, so I'm going to play it.
Yeah. I haven't heard of it. I'm going to have to look for it after this. And
Yo, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And if you've got PlayStation Plus, it's on PlayStation Plus. So
perfect. I don't have a Steam Deck, but I do have PlayStation Plus, so I think I am.
Great. Yeah. Get it on PlayStation. Yeah, play on PlayStation Plus, because it's yeah, you'll be surprised.
Yeah. Okay. I'm interested in that one. I'm curious too around just the way that people are able to use games to process grief on any, you know, emotion that we might have. Are there specific games that you go to for a specific emotion, you know, if you're stressed out or if you're happy?
Yeah, no, I kind of just play what's there, you know. I think the act of playing a game, the act of diving into the medium is where you lose yourself, where you escape. So there isn't necessarily a game out there I would say that it's my like go-to for X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think ultimately I kind of just dive into them and just play them and allow the emotions that come out of them to affect me in its own way, you know?
Yeah. I usually go to like a Mario Kart and or Halo when I'm stressed out, just so I can shoot a couple grunts and I'm fine.
I used to I get that. I used to funnily enough, it was Call of Duty for me. When I was younger, but like or like, you know, FIFA, you know, and like these kind of games that you can kind of like switch on and then switch off. But in truth, again, like now as I kind of go get along, like I kind of just try everything, you know?
Yeah. Are there any games that you've tried yet or looking to start soon that are from the continent that you feel like you'd like or you're interested in trying?
Oh man, you know, there's a few studios actually that I'm looking at in regards to like what they're going to be releasing, you know, next. Especially in Yamcop, I'm like looking at them and those guys and what they're building. I think they're going to be building something really, really cool, and I can't wait to see what they kind of conjure next. So yeah, like it's an exciting time because I do truly believe like the sort of the African gaming market is like it's gonna blow up. Like and look, it already is. It's already growing, and it's just now about seeing more, which I'm really kind of excited for. And what's so great as well is like because I'm also a Kenyan citizen, I've got my Kenyan passport, I do want to open the studio up in Nairobi and just kind of, you know, tap into there as well. So yeah, like it's so exciting. It really is.
It really is. We've been just I think trying to make more of the connection, especially just between everything that's coming out of the continent and all of us across the diaspora who are looking for kinds of games like these, like Sao, that just represent us and make us feel all the things that we want to see. So I'm excited to see more of these games coming up. One more question actually from around Zao. Actually two. One, what does Zao mean?
What does Zao mean as a name?
Yes.
I just made it up. Listen, man. If you know, if what's his name? If George Lucas can make up Skywalker, I can make up Zao, man. Don't come at me. What does Zao mean? I made that up.
I was like, there's gonna have to be a name. I know it means something.
Listen, absolutely, yeah, I made it up. I'm gonna come in with some deeper meaning about him. Like, nope, no, I made that up. That's a made up name.
I respect it.
And I'm actually really happy about that. Because everyone's like, oh, what does it mean? I'm like, nah, it's just made up.
Maybe it means something in Bantu.
Nope, made it up. It's so funny though. All my friends and like, you know, even people in the studio, when they're like, Zao? I was like, yeah, Zao. They're like, what does it mean? I'm like, nothing. It's just Zao. It's a cool sounding name. Do you think, you know, when someone, you know, called, I don't know, George, they were like, what does George mean?
It sounds like a powerful name. It's like, yeah, I believe it. Yeah,
exactly, because I made it up.
But it means I wouldn't believe it. Let me see. The other question I had is, if there was anything that you could change about the game, what would that be?
Oh, that's a deadly question, because you're asking the creative director what could he change of his game. Everything. Truthfully, I don't think I would change anything, because I'm aware of how we got there, and you know, I look at why we got there and like the sacrifices we had to make in order to get there. You know, of course, I would have loved, you know, to have all the quality of life features that we're trying to put in now there, but we wouldn't have. But then the thing is, it's like, how do you build a community? You want them to feel like they're a part of this, or you want them to feel like they're a part of the building process of it. So that's what I'm excited for. It's like, okay, give me your ideas so then we can build on top of it. So yeah, I don't know, I don't think I would change anything. Maybe I think if we could, I would have loved, like, you know, more animated cinematics, or like, you know, that kind of stuff, because again, but we were working on such a tight budget. Like, we couldn't afford that. We had to then do the comic book style sort of portraits, but I really like those portraits as well. So like, we wouldn't have got that if we had the time to do the cinematic elements of it all. So you see, this is what I mean by like when I look at it really truly, I wouldn't change anything,
No, that's completely fair.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite level or favorite act?
Yeah, Act 2.
I'm on Act 2 right now.
Yeah, Act 2. Act 2 for me is like, yeah, I'm really chuffed and happy with that.
Yeah.
That it felt like we were almost in our element on that one. Like, yeah, Act 2.
That day.
Yeah.
Nice. So I think that is all the questions that we've had. Thank you again for giving us even more of your time to chat more about Zao.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody loves it, so we're always appreciative to get to explore more about it with you. So everyone else, thank you all for watching and for being a part of our World Africa Day of Play. We're always excited to be able to explore even more about Zao with you. We can't wait to see more from the game. So thanks everyone. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
See everyone.
Wow, what an insightful chat. I actually find it quite fascinating how Abu said that part of the title screen for Zao is paying homage to Kingdom Hearts. Like, I didn't know that. So now I'm going to have to keep going back and rewinding that because I need to know. Like, yeah, I didn't know.
I've never played Kingdom Hearts, so I didn't know. I don't want to hear no slack about that in the chat. But I'm literally I also think that it's really nice that feedback is encouraged because I give thorough feedback, and I always feel bad being critical. Like, this is not good, and I can't play it because of that. Because I feel like devs work really hard, so I'm really reassured that they accept feedback and want to make the game better. I'm really excited. And also the first game that's fully playable in an African language, and they all had to learn Swahili. Incredible. Amazing. 10 out of 10. But I'm so excited because I have been playing Tales of Kenzera, and not to toot my own horn, but I'm kind of eating it up. I don't know. I'm kind of eating it up. So we are starting a little bit into the game. I've already played some of it, but just know you're watching premium gameplay. I want you to know that. Yeah.
Each story carries with
Premium.
the echoes of death.
Seriously. I've also been playing the game for a little bit. I played the demo when it came out, I think around the start of April, and I've got the full game now. And honestly, I was just captivated by the art style and how amazing everything looks, the vivid colors, but it's not too harsh, and it's just blended so well together. The customization for each character, everyone has its own different personality. The voice acting, chef's kiss. Voice acting, 10 out of 10. Sorry. 10 out of 10.
I can't be regular while I play this. I want y'all to know that I'm always yelling.
Yeah,
okay, so we're supposed to be fighting this girl right now. We tried to get to her, and our character Zao is very immature and is on this journey, obviously, but has rushed into something, and then we have to go into a whole little tunnel system and all this stuff. We finally found this girl because she might know something about what he needs to do.
When I tell you that tunnel system, you know, when the one with where the water is going, the little spikes that come out. The amount of times I had to replay that because I was not ready. I was just thrown in there. I was like, yeah, this is so much fun. This is vibes. This is easy. But
sorry. Oh God, I'm nervous.
I kept dying there, but I was like, today is the day that I'll make it past. I was like, I will not go to sleep until I make it past that level.
Okay, look. You rock. Oh, I didn't do it. Okay. Oh no. Oh my God, my heart is racing. You know what?
The one thing about Asia, she's unserious.
I don't have aim. I don't have that. I don't know that. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We did it.
First person who plays first person shooters, but okay, go off. No tea, no shade.
No tea, no shade.
We should be
No
focusing
tea.
on the great spirit.
Okay.
Remember, Zao, a clever fennec can catch
I said what I said.
What?
What? The girl is bringing us closer to Ikakaramba. Right. Do you come up with these things yourself?
I love it. Look at you see that wall climbing? That's what I'm talking about. Premium. You know what I mean? I it's fine. Oh, hold on. Okay. Okay, wait. Now where do I go? Hold on, because I do have to be looking at this map a lot. Hold on. Okay, wait. Okay. What? I also like that you can slide down the wall like this. Very cute.
Oh, it's up there.
I wasn't here before. Okay, hold on. See, now if I didn't look at the map, I would have never known. I'm better about the spikes. Hold on, we gotta go up somewhere.
No, the spikes are my worst enemy. I can't.
Hold on.
Every time I see the spikes, I panic.
I'm nervous. Okay, hold on. Okay. Period. You can never hold a bad woman down. Hold on. What's going on right now?
Oh.
I just want to say I am sorry. No.
She said, "Get away from me."
As annoying as a Tokoloshi.
What? What is the problem?
Speed, the way you're running.
One thing about me.
No way. How did she get past here?
Okay.
Maybe she flew.
What do you mean? Maybe she flew. What are you talking about? Don't play with me. What do you mean she flew? Maybe she flew. You're not serious.
You need to figure out. Oh, you can go up there.
You can go up, maybe. Gwenda. Okay. First try. Okay, those are spikes. Hold on. Okay.
It's the screams of fear for me.
Because I'm nervous. I don't like to fail. I have a huge fear of failing. It's hard for me. So I'm doing this despite all odds. Against all odds.
So for everybody in the chat right now, how are y'all feeling about Tales of Kenzera? Zao, has anyone played it? If you have, what do you play on? PC, console, Switch? Like,
oh my god,
what's good?
Oh my god.
Because even though I have a PlayStation, I play everything on PC. This is why I need a new hard drive. I play everything on PC. I have it. I need to play. Oh yes, I highly recommend playing it. It's a really, really fun game. There's a lot of story. There's a lot of heart put into the game. So I think yeah. So I think it'll be really fun. You play on Steam Deck? Okay, so someone has money. Sorry. A Steam Deck.
Oh, you got money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got money.
But the one thing that you need to know, Amma, who is part of our stream team, has been playing this game on command, on deck, literally on our channel. So if y'all want to see that, Sundays at 7 p.m. EST, tune in.
That's right.
Tune in. And the one thing about Amma, which is why I love, is that she will complete a game. She will complete a game.
It can never be me.
It can never be me. I have so much in my backlog. I have too much on both PC and console. Okay. Yeah, she will make sure. Not big bat.
A big backlog is so insane.
My backlog is as big as my back. It's insane.
Yes, and actually, you know what? Since we're talking about feedback, I think it would be really nice for these echoes to play while I'm actually in the game. Like if there's no audio coming from, or if there's no sound coming from Kalunga, I think that would have been so nice. Cause I actually like listening to it, and me personally, I like listening to stuff. You know, that's just my nature. That's who I am as a person. Where am I supposed to go? Chalet.
You need to look at that map. You need to look at that map.
I'm trying. Okay, did we go here? I think so.
Someone said I've stopped being a console gamer once my PC was strong enough to run beefy games. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's right.
That's what I'm saying, because I spent too much money on this PC to not play any games on the PC.
Go through here, maybe.
I feel like console gamers are missing out. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not biased, but that's what I'm saying. You know, I just got a 2 TB hard drive. The way I just downloaded everything now. Do it. I actually, in my PC combined, I have 5 terabytes. Yeah, it's quite a lot, isn't it? Yeah. I do a lot of things and I need the space. So here we are. Yeah, I have 5 terabytes. So like, it's all split amongst different hard drives. So I have like 1 hard drive to run my systems, editing software, that kind of stuff. 1 for just solely games, and 1 to store videos. That's it. Because as a creator, you need to come correct. You need to come correct because anything can happen, God forbid, but you need to come correct. And I have been like an avid gamer since like I was a child. Like my first ever console that I got for myself solely was a Switch. During COVID and things like that, but before that I had a PS1 which I had to share with my siblings, and you know how siblings be like, they be fighting over consoles. Yeah, I had to share consoles for a long time. I had to use the family PC. You know?
Oh.
You know, the one that runs that Windows XP. Yeah, that one. It's a lot.
I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Help me! Somebody help me!
Okay, there's rocks falling up top. Are you not meant to jump through? There should be a section you can jump through, no?
I can't bring it back. I put it on here and I can't bring it back. Hold on.
No, you can't bring it back.
Hold on.
You said it's stuck.
Hold on.
Apparently you need to wall drop to the right and go above. Like wall jump to the right and go above. Oh, there you go. Oh, and, you know,
period. Wait, now, hold on, because I already did this. Okay.
You and these echoes.
Okay.
We do love some needed backseat gaming. I appreciate it.
Ooh, I'm a backseat gamer. Tell me, because I don't want to struggle. Y'all don't understand.
Okay. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
You got this.
It's fine.
I have wept. I have wept.
All right. Wrap it up. Okay. No.
Definitely take notes. Because I had to this particular area that I was stuck on in this game, and I had to literally watch a YouTube video tutorial of someone else playing this game.
Okay.
I'm serious.
I'm fine.
We need a death counter because this is not it. I had to watch a tutorial on YouTube of someone how to get past a certain level because I was just stuck. I was like, how do you do this? The timing, it's impeccable. Like, you need timing. Oh my god, I love the scenery, the graphics. I'm the kind of person that's into the art style, the graphics, and just seeing how everything's so seamless and fluid.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
It's really
just so beautiful. Oh my god. I
never listened to. Hold on. No, listen to me. This is not my ministry.
This is giving you you need rhythm, because if you don't have rhythm, I'm sorry to tell you, it is what it is. It's always good to ask if someone is backseat gamer. Yeah, honestly, like, I don't mind backseat gaming if I ask for it, but if someone just comes in and is not interested in saying hi, and it's like, okay, this is how you complete it. I'm like,
Don't ever doubt me.
You know, I've been saying a year in Kenzera. In Kenzera would heal me. Not you getting involved. Okay. I just love everything about this game. I was so happy when I saw it.
This game is very cute.
I think you're getting to the bit I got stuck on. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think so. You're about to find out.
Wait, did I just come here? No. I'm in a new place.
Oh,
okay.
fast travel. Oh.
I don't want to fast travel anywhere.
You need to explore.
Ooh, they're trying to get me. They're trying to hold me down. Let me tell you something right now. You can't hold it back down. Okay.
For those who have played this game, if you could rate it out of 10, what would you rate it and why?
Ooh.
I want to know everyone's opinions. I need to know your thoughts. For me, I haven't fully completed the game, but I will definitely rate it currently a 9 out of 10 with how much I've played so far. And listen, if anything else gets added, like I know for sure once I finish the game, it'll be a 10 out of 10. But so far from what I played it, 9 out of 10. Period. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say for me, I would say a 9 out of 10 too, because I don't even really play platformers like that, but this to me feels like a game that I would have played, you know, like when I was younger. You know what I mean? Something that you just play because it makes you happy to do.
10 out of 10 because of the art style, the original music score, the Swahili option, the depth of the cultural inspiration, the difficulty, the execution. Okay, I see that you did the debrief. I see that. You know, I saw it. Okay. Please. Put the platform breaking down underneath your feet.
I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. I'm fine.
It reminds me a lot of Prince of Persia. I've heard people say that. And that game also has a lot of playtime, and this is what Zao is like as well. It has a lot of playtime, replay options. There's just a lot. There's a lot to do. You got this, Asia.
But no, I don't!
Yes, you do believe so you can receive. You got this.
No, because something else is going on, because there's spikes on the wall. I can't get down here. I can't go up. You know it. Let me just go across. No, the thing is up top. I gotta go up there. Oh Lord. Okay. It seems like that would be all of our gameplay for today. I think very specifically platform breaking. Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah. I think I've done all that I can do.
She said premium content. This is premium. She said premium. That was premium content right there.
Thank you. And it was. And don't forget about it.
Anyway, Asia, you killed it still. You killed it. And I hope you all enjoyed it. If y'all are interested in playing Tales of Kenzera Zao for yourself, like I said before, it's available on Switch, PlayStation 5, Steam, Xbox Series X and S, or you can just type Zao in the chat for the information.
Yes.
Just type it in the chat.
And if you didn't see the YouTube live stream, the chat with Abu, you can do !ASMR in the chat, but Abu's ASMR voice, we're all requesting a podcast. And I know, Abu, you're probably a little busy. I know you probably got some stuff on the docket. However, if you drop a podcast, just send us the link. We are interested to know. So let's get into the trailer for the next title, which is Outliver Tribulations.
Hi everyone, I'm Odasi Rugiwa, the CEO and Creative Director here at Tribulation, a 3-man indie studio based in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. And we welcome you to the gameplay overview of our survival horror action game, Outliver Tribulation, where you play as Bolanle Boyega, a soldier who mysteriously finds herself in the realm of tribulations, a supernatural realm of African mythology where she soon discovers she has to undergo an ancient ritual in order to regain passage back to her realm, or so she thinks. During the course of your journey, you get to uncover the mystery behind the realm of tribulations through exploration by reading lore notes, solving quest riddles, and meeting with various characters who will help to shed more light on the ongoing events, while also facing off against ferocious and deadly enemies who relentlessly stalk you in the realm. In order to combat these threats, you will have at your disposal your skills as a player and some charms which can be found across the realm with varying effects. The lightning charm brings down lightning bolts on enemies, while the explosive charm sends out radial shockwave that stuns all enemies within range. The shield charm protects you from attacks, enabling you to take more hits than usual, while the health charm heals you. Apart from the health charm, saving your game also restores health. All of these charms can also be upgraded to get boosted effects. Aside from the charms and your conventional firearm, you will also have access to an ancient weapon known as the Elder Gun, which is also upgradable for boosted effects. The Elder Gun has two firing modes, which mimics the shotgun and rocket launcher weapon classes respectively. It also gets dark in some parts of the realm just before battle breaks out. To help with this, your character, Bola, comes equipped with night vision goggles, which you can toggle on and off anytime to see better. Outliver Tribulation will be launching on PC on the 18th of July, with the console launch coming later. After launch, we will continue to support the game by adding new languages, as well as taking into account feedbacks to help update and further improve the game among others. Thank you all for taking the time to check out this gameplay overview. Your support would be greatly appreciated, so please help spread the word, and we hope to see you in the realm of Tribulations when the game launches. Happy gaming.
Yay! Yay! Hi, hello. I'm a little nervous about this trailer because horror is not my genre. If you look at me, I know that you know in your heart of hearts, I am not the best horror game player. So I'm very excited. Please welcome Mudatir, the co-founder of Gibrasoft, who are the developers of Outliver Tribulation. Hi.
Hi. Nice to be here.
Welcome in. It's nice to meet you too. Could you please tell everyone about yourself, where you grew up, and just anything?
Okay, so my name is Mudassir Giwa, the co-founder, creative director, and project lead at Gibrasoft, a development studio based in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria, and of course the creator of Outliver Tribulation. So I was born and raised in Nigeria. So yeah, my story is not that exciting, I'm afraid.
I think that's exciting. What do you mean? You don't think your story is exciting? I think everyone's story is exciting. It's why we have these types of things. If you didn't have your story, you wouldn't have this game.
Yeah, it sounds like everybody else's story now. So that's why.
No, it's totally okay. So, yeah, I want to know, how did you come up with the name Gibrasoft, like for your studio? Like, where is that inspiration? What's the story behind that?
Okay, so I guess back in the day, during our, should I say, gaming geek days, after we decided to create our studio, when we eventually come of age, because we started gaming at a very, very young age. So I think while looking into what to name our studio in the future, the name Ubisoft was very, very attractive for us back then. And because they were brothers, same thing goes for us here at Gibrasoft. I founded this studio with my brother and even sister. There's three of us actually. So the Gibrasoft aspect of it is, let's just say, a combination of our name. That's Giwa for our son name. That's the G aspect of the Gibrasoft. And then the bros part of it is brothers. And then software. So Giwa Brothers Software, basically. That's how we came up with Gibrasoft.
Oh, that's really nice.
Wow, what's it to have siblings that you can create stuff with? I wouldn't know. I'm an only child. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. I'm actually missing out on my empire. That's fine.
I actually love that. It's honestly a very interesting name, and it's a very interesting story behind the name. I love it. I think it's cute. I want to know what inspired the story and setting of Outliver Tribulation.
Okay, so for the story and setting of Outliver Tribulation, I think let's just go back to the origin of the story. So initially, we were working on a totally different game. But then, like a lot of us aspiring developers, we don't tend to take into account the scope and what it would require to pull off something with a very, very high scope, basically. So we're working on a totally different game, a survival game in a massive open world. But after a while in development, we quickly realized that we don't have the size, the technicals, and even the resources to pull off such a game. So we needed to make something on a much, much smaller scope. So during the course of, rescoping the game, as well as, taking into account the mission of our studio, which is to create a massive and captivating African-inspired, African-themed games that resonates with the global audience. We still had to keep the game's premise in the African zone. So during the course of it, we ended up with a very, very small game where, the player is haunted by demons but it wasn't based on anything in particular. I think back in February 2022, we were so close to launching the game, but then the African aspect of the game, the demons or the monsters looking more of like of African origin. So we received a lot of messages from gaming enthusiasts, both home and away. They were very excited about the African aspect of the game. So this led us and they all wanted us to work a bit more on the game and polish it even better. So this gave us the nudge that we are onto something. So we decided to drill down on the African folklore and mythology aspect of it. So this now led us to, working on the game for the African aspect of it. And then you can notice that in the game, it's a blend of survival horror and Souls-like. So for that, we are huge fans of the survival horror series ever since we played the Resident Evil games back in the day. So after playing this, one problem we've had with the Resident Evil series, or let's just say survival horrors in general, is the combat aspect of it. When it comes to, especially the boss fight, it tends to be a bit easy. You can tell the bosses are extremely sluggish, almost as if they are waiting for the players to get them before they move. So we needed a way to make the combat more realistic, challenging, and skill-based. So after searching around, trying to get references and trying to look into what to use as our base for the combat aspect of the game, we stumbled upon the Soul series. Yeah, the Soul series. But in the Soul series, as we can all tell, these are very, very difficult games to play. Too difficult for what we want for a survival horror game. So around that time, Remnant from Ashes came out, and being a shooter game and taking a lot of inspiration from the Dark Souls series, this immediately became the perfect fit for us. To combine this to, satisfy our gameplay challenge, as in the gameplay challenging it is when it comes to boss fight. And because my definition of survival horror would be a game where the odds are overwhelmingly against you, but you still have a fighting chance. Like us humans in life, everything isn't that easy for us humans to go about our daily lives, but somehow, one way or the other, we are all able to pull through. So that is my own definition of survival horror. So for me as a human, every day is a survival horror for me, if I can pull through all the challenges I face. So that was how we ended up with the unique blend of survival horror, the Souls-like, and African mythology. So that is like the backstory behind, coming up with this. I hope I have not said too much. Can I still continue?
No,
honestly, there's no such thing as saying too much about your game. We don't know about it, so of course we want to know about it. It's totally fine. Yeah.
Honestly, you can't say too much. You mentioned about African folklore, and if you're not aware, I'm also Nigerian. I was born and bred in Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State to be exact. So I'm a village girl.
Very nice.
And when you mentioned about folklore, it reminded me of my childhood. So we used to have it's part of folklore, but it's called Epo. So it's a man dressed in like, it has the mask, African mask and things like that. They'll come every Sunday to our village and they'll dance and everything like that, but it's all for money. And if you do not give them money, they will chase you around the community. So all the kids will always tease the dancers and things like that. And you just see them running everywhere. The kids would just be running everywhere. And it's just something that happened every single Sunday. And it scared me because these were really tall men in these outfits and it was so scary. But it's like a very big part of my childhood that I remember still to this day. Even though I was scared of it, I loved it because it was my culture. It was my village. These were my people, you know? So like, I love that you said that because it really means a lot to me to share that in a game, that you took time to think about the folklore, how the demons are gonna look and things like that. Like that means a lot. And to see that in the game, it brings it home. It brings it home for me.
Very, very cool. Okay, so for a while we came up with the inspiration behind the story now, and the setting. So now that we've decided to make the game based on African folklore, and you know that when you look into entertainment in general, that's maybe media, movies or video games, when you talk of mythology, you mostly refer to the Norse mythology or the Greek mythology. Those are the most common. But we also know as Africans, we have a very rich cultural background, folklore and mythologies too. For me, being of the Yoruba descent in Nigeria, so it would be much easier for me to go for the African mythology Yoruba edition, the one that I can understand better. So as a result of using our own gods too, like the Oya, Shango, and the likes. So after much deliberation and research around the gods, we ended up choosing Orisha Oya because her story is very, very interesting. She's a badass. She is very strong. She is also the wife of Shango, that's god of thunder, who is like our own equivalent of the Thor or Zeus in the Norse and Greek mythology. Okay. So we ended up with that as the basis for our story. But then there is another problem. When we talk about, the mission for our studio, which is making African themed games that appeal to the global gaming audience. We could have easily just made a character in that timeline. But that character would be expected to be fully aware of the customs and traditions of that time. But this won't really appeal to gamers worldwide because they won't really know where or how to step into the story. So we needed to bring them in from a more relatable angle. So that's why you can see, and this also comes around a time where in the world there is terrorism and a lot of injustice going on in the world. So, and I know that every single one of us at some point would have said, I wish there was something I could do to put an end to this problem, to do something about it. And being a shooter game, it made a lot of sense for us to use a soldier. That is very relatable for every single one of us. So now that has solved the part of, bringing in a more relatable character that players across the world can resonate with. So the next step was how to now connect the present with the past. So that in the story, we came up with the realm of Tribulations and the fictional realm of the fictional kingdom of Ilu Aharin, the kingdom in the game that sets up the entire story. So the kingdom created the realm of Tribulations, which would serve as a bridge for bringing in the players from the relatable present in contact with characters and entities from the past. So that basically summarizes how the story and setting was inspired.
Okay. I love that.
And
honestly,
so
I love it.
We talked a little bit about like some inspiration because there's a trend going around on social media for like the 3 where you post your game and then the 3 games that inspired it. So we heard some things about Remnant Ashes and about other Souls-like games. So like, what would you say are your top 3 games that inspired?
So I would say
Outliver, Tribulation.
So I would say, being a huge fan of the survival horror series, that's easily Resident Evil, and then the Remnant from Ashes to solve, the combat aspect. And as you can see from the title, Outliver, this was inspired by the Outlast series, the Night Vision, Outliver
I thought so.
and the Night Vision, So those were the 3 games I would say.
I thought so because because of the night vision aspect. I thought so. Like it's giving Outlast, but I love that. But listen, you'll never ever catch me playing Outlast. I'm sorry, I can't.
It won't.
Me too.
My heart can't take it. My heart can't take it.
I can't play Outlast to myself.
Yeah.
I prefer survival horrors, where I still have a little fighting chance.
So then, what I guess also really quickly, what is the part of the game that you feel like is hardest for you to complete? Like you went through it and you were like, oh, this is difficult, this is a challenge.
Okay, so I think for us in the beginning, it would be all about funding, I guess, and then the animation aspect of the game. Because you can see that in the dialogue aspect, there was a lot of moving, but we went really vast when it comes to, making realistic animations. So I would say funding was part of the main problem, and then the animation aspect. For the voice aspect of the game, in case you've not gone through the credits already, you would see that I also did part of the voicing in the game. So it was much easy. That one was simple. Yeah. So that would be like the keeper's voice in the game. That was me. So it was very simple. Just take on a simple course, but you can't really do that when it comes to animation, to have something that polished. So for us, after a while, we got lucky. We applied to a lot of funding outlets, but after a while, we got very lucky and got picked for the Epic Mega Grant. So this made it possible for us to get some tools like the Perception Neuron Motion Capture Suite. We were able to solve the animation aspect, because for our game, since it's very, very heavy story and lore, animation was a very huge part of it for us. So that solved the problem for us.
That's cool. Okay. Emotion Suite actually is amazing.
I want to know, actually, can you let us know what would you say has been the best part of creating Outliver Tribulation? What's your most favorite moment?
My favorite moment, I would say, is the fact that we're able to, as in the way technology has gone today and how accessible it is to everybody globally, we're able to bring, our own African story to the global audience. So being able to pull that off on that level, and given the feedbacks we've received so far on Steam, people responded very favorably and even gave us suggestions that made us feel, because initially it was just, okay, 3 of us, we put in our best effort and made a game, and it's out on Steam. But then people started giving us various suggestions that would also even make the game greater in the future. Like, we've been able to add a difficulty mode, new achievements, localization support of recently. Someone also suggested an arena mode. So this gave us the validation. Yeah, there is actually people out there who would want to see what you have to make, as long as you pour your heart and soul in it and make something very high quality. So being able to make the game and releasing it.
Yeah, I can completely understand that. I know you mentioned about the response from the community. Is there one particular response that has impacted your view on the game, or one particular response that you've taken on board to improve the game in the future for any patch updates or anything like that?
Okay, so I would say, ever since the release of the game, the feedbacks we've received, suggesting various features we never ever even dreamed of planning for the game. Part of it is the arena mode I just talked about. We are working on it for maybe our anniversary update for the game. So a lot of other suggestions. Almost everything we've done on Outliver up till date, ever since launch, is based on community feedback. So for us, these comments are very positive. So it made us decide to continue working on the game, because we never even knew we would work on the game for this long. It's been almost a year since launch and we're still working on it while we work on, newer projects, future projects. Right.
That's honestly amazing. And as we can see from the previous interview and now, community feedback is very important for devs, and it allows the relationship between player and dev to grow. And you've actually put the feedback into practice, and that's what makes a game amazing, because the players are being listened to, the players are being connected with, the players are being understood, and we love that. And us as players, we love that. So I'm so happy to hear that. I was wondering, are there any talks about porting Outliver Tribulation to maybe console like Xbox or PlayStation?
Yeah, sure. We're currently in talks with Xbox. We got accepted to the Idea at Xbox program. So that means we'll get to bring the game to Xbox later on in the future. And currently, I think I've applied to their developer accelerator program, still hoping for a response from them. So if we get a good response on time, we might actually be able to bring it to Xbox much sooner. And if possible, we are also thinking of the possibility of even porting it to mobile too, if possible. Because we want to be able to hit as many platforms as possible to make it available to as many people as possible. So yeah, there are definitely plans to bring it on, port it to other platforms.
I love that. I love that. And for y'all who are watching, who are console players, listen out. Keep an ear out, okay? It could be coming soon. And for me, I am a mobile player as well. I love app games. I have so many on my phone. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it if it's gonna come onto mobile, because I'm gonna be on it all the time.
Yeah, you got games on your phone.
I have games on my phone.
So yeah, I'm gonna hear what roles do the various charms and night vision goggles play in the game? Because obviously now that we know that some of that came from Outlast, what is the significance of those things in the game? Like, is it integral to the progression of the story? Did you just decide, okay, well this is just fun, or what was the idea behind it?
Okay, so when making Outliver Tribulation, we wanted the combat to be as refreshing as possible. So if it was just your regular firearms, it would get boring very quickly. So we also, as a result, we invented another weapon for the game, based on the warrior's type of affinity. Like, Bola is a soldier, so she's used for firearms. So for her, the kind of ancient weapon she found when she got to the realm was something related to firearms. So the Elder Gun has 2 firing modes, one that drains a lot of spirit essence from Bola to deal devastating damage on the enemies, and a second mode that just does a very, very light damage. This basically simulates or mimics, rocket launcher or shotgun. But then the charms as well are on the side to further support the player. We are making a game that is African centric, but we still wanted to make sure gamers that are used to other games still feel at home playing it too. They are used to shotguns, they are used to rocket launchers. That's why we found a way to integrate it in, but in the African-centric way. So the charms as well too. You see various games where you have various gadgets that you use. You can see even in the Witcher series, there are various things like that. So for us, and when you talk about African mythology, we talk about juju and black magic and things like that. So it made sense to add in things like that to the game. So let's say the lightning charm, for instance. This brings down bolts, lightning bolt. Also to pay homage to, Shango, the god of thunder. So this brings down lightning bolts onto every single enemy in the vicinity at that time. Then you have your explosive charm, the one we use with snail shell. It's so easy to crack the snail shell when you smash it on the ground. So we decided to use the snail shell to symbolize the explosive charm. So once you smash that on the ground, it sends out a radial shockwave that stuns and even damages every enemy in the vicinity. And then there's this thing we talk about in Africa here, where you say you have, should I say Ayeta, or this juju that protects you from being shot at by every other people. In Africa, it's very common. So we also added the shield charm too. So once you have the shield charm activated, you are immune to every enemy attacks until the shield breaks, from damages. And then the last of the charm, that's the health charm. When you take this, you instantly heal up. Every single shooter game has a form of healing item in them. So we still try to integrate these features gamers are used to, to stay true to making our games appealing to the global audience. So we're asking you to come and experience our African mythology, but you don't have to unlearn everything you know about gaming so far just to play the game. You can still just come to Outliver Tribulation with the skills you already have. So yeah, that's the story behind it. And then for the night vision, as we already said earlier, that's like from Outlast. To also make it visually interesting, one moment you are running around in a well-lit environment, the next everything goes dark and scary. Now you need to use your night vision to change up the scenery.
Okay. Yeah. That's exciting.
I love it. This is a horror game through and through. And for all of those horror game players in the chat, I love that for you. I hope that you have the time of your life playing this, because y'all love scaring yourself. Me personally, y'all saw me playing Tales of Kenzera.
It's actually not that scary because
it's not.
It's probably
part of the feedback we got.
What's not scary?
Someone said it in the comments. The person said it's not even that scary to begin with. So like, I don't play horror games
scary?
like Outlast. There is no way.
You can't say that your game.
You know,
is
it's
scary.
like
I played the game.
You know,
I've opened it up. No, you're no. I open the game up.
Okay.
When you start the game up, you start in a fog, and then all of a sudden you start walking. You fall through the floor. Okay, so I was screaming from the moment I opened the game, and you're talking about it's not scary. Nobody's serious. Nobody's joking. We're all just having a laugh. That's okay. That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Asia hates scary games, honestly. But honestly, it's a lot of fun. And listen, she had a good time regardless. I would like to know, what is your long-term vision for Outliver Tribulation? Are there any plans to expand, like DLCs, or any kind of a continuation of the Outliver title? Or you try and add more projects? Is there any projects in the pipeline?
Okay. Yeah, there are definitely plans for a sequel, because you can see the way we ended this one. We hinted at a continuation of a more epic and grander adventure. But before we go into making that, we want to take the time to have a very compelling story for that. Also improve on our skill set so we can truly make it the next level for this. Until then, we'll still be working on Outliver Tribulation and releasing updates, taking feedback from the community, and it's very likely we'll be releasing another game, before Outliver 2. We want to make sure Outliver is like our flagship IP. So before we make the next one, we want to take our time and not things. But until then, we definitely have plans, and we also plan to make it into like a universe thing, Outliver universe, where we get to use this as the step off point to touch on many other folklore in the African mythology. So yeah, there are definitely plans for people.
Okay, I love that. Honestly, I love it. It was very exciting. I would like to know, this is where you get to criticize yourself just a little bit. I would like to know, if you could change one thing about Outliver Tribulation, what would it be and why? It could be something for the better, it could be something for worse. It's up to you.
Okay, so let's say one of the things I have noticed ever since launch, like I said, it's a very small game from a team of 3 people, but some of the feedbacks we received, people were actually looking at it as a much, much bigger project than it is. Maybe because we use a photorealistic art style. So I'm thinking, is it a bad thing to use a photorealistic art style? Should we have gone with a stylized art style? Something that showed it off more as, a small indie game. But I'm not sure about that yet. So I can't really say there's anything I need to change, or maybe just improve on it more, the quality of the game, the quality of the animations, the voice acting, the music. I would really want to improve on all of those, and maybe even add cutscenes, pre-recorded cutscenes like cinematic. This game doesn't have any of that. We try to work within our means and our expertise. I think that's one thing I would love to add into future games. A sort of intro and outro, improve everything about the game to, bring it up to the standards people thought it was supposed to be because of the high quality of the game. They were actually thinking it should be on a very high level than it's supposed to. But when some of them found out the price of the game as well as the size of the team, they were very impressed. Whoa, how did you guys pull it off? We're thinking you guys are much bigger than this. That's it.
Oh,
I love that.
Thank you for sharing. So we're gonna have our last question, which is so exciting because it's important. And then we're gonna wrap to break. But what influenced the decision to focus on a female protagonist? Because obviously we're Black Girl Gamers and we love supporting women and femme-presenting people to increase equity in the gaming space. So it's really important for us to know just like what influenced you.
Okay, so let me quickly take you back to that history journey again. So during the initial game idea we had in mind when we were making the game, before we realized, it was too big for us. Ola was also actually in that project, but she was supposed to be a companion to the main protagonist of that game. But after deciding to go for the African mythology in the Yoruba side of things, Ola was already of an African descent. She's already a Black woman, so it made a lot of sense to use her. And Bola is also a very good example to showcase how much power people can pull out of themselves, solve any problem that comes to them. Because when it comes to, the military, everything strong, you usually refer to men for such things. So Bola is like the most unexpected example. Like even a woman, when pushed to the wall, she can summon so much strength to actually pull through. So all of this combined, Bola was very perfect for the role. Giving her backstory too. Following the sudden loss of her husband and father to the terrorists, she had to do something. She wanted to be a part of the solution that finally puts an end to, terrorism, bullies, and stuff like that. So yeah, that was why Bola was the perfect choice for this.
I love that.
That's so cute.
We love it.
Period. Stand up. Women stand up.
I love that. Honestly, thank you so much. We're gonna have to wrap it up, but before we go, is there anything you want to say to the folks watching today?
Okay, so I would say it would be a very good idea for you guys to try out the game if you haven't already. I would also want to advise I would also like to advise everyone, as in part of the things I want people to take away from this story is, empathy, perseverance, and selflessness. You should try as much as you can to go out of your own way to help others if you can. You should also try to persevere in whatever it is you find yourself doing, or whatever problem you face in life, or the goals you set for yourself. Just keep working at it. Because you can see in the beginning of the game, there was a proverb we mentioned, one who begins a task does not deserve to be praised unless he endures and sees it through to completion. So try to persevere and see it to completion. Only then do you deserve to be praised. So I would say just be good. That's all. And support us by getting the game. So that's what I would say.
I'm not even spitting knowledge bombs out here, Mulekir. Dang.
Honestly, oh my god, I love that. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you. We had an amazing time, and it was lovely to get to know more about Outliver, Tribulation, and the whole process. So thank you so much. And for those who are in the chat, if you would like to play Outliver Tribulation for yourself, you can find it on Steam and Epic Games, or you can type Outliver in the chat for the information and link. Do that right now.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Danona.
Thank you for being here. We're going to take a short break right now, but stay tuned, because up next we have another exciting interview with Raven Illusion Studio, the developers of Adventurous Mobile Path of Greatness. You won't want to miss it.
Yeah, that's right. And remember, you can share your thoughts and questions on social media right now using the hashtag World Africa Day of Play. And we will be right back.
Welcome everybody and welcome back to Black Girl Gamers World Africa Day of Play, our showcase of the latest game developments and coming out of the continent of Africa. We're thrilled to have you here with us. Hello everybody, my name is Mary. I'm the content manager for Black Girl Gamers, a variety content creator and a born and bred Nigerian representing my Niger folks here today. I'll be one of your hosts for this exciting event, and joining me today is my wonderful co-host, Asia.
Hi, hello. Welcome back if you've been with us since the start. Hi, if you're here with us after the break. My name is Asia, and I'm a whimsical variety streaming photographer based in Indiana. So before we jump back into the panels and games, we are currently raising funds for Project Hope and War Child to help various countries in Africa. And those countries are so thankful for aid and hope because your contributions can provide people and communities with that critically needed aid and hope.
And if you want to learn more, find out where to donate, please type !hope and !war child in the chat to support the cause. We appreciate all contributions, and if you can't financially contribute, please feel free to share the links with your friends and family.
Yes. Please support these organizations in their endeavors to make the world a better place because we really want to support them, especially now. It's very important. We have even more incredible games and chats in store for y'all. And our next title is Adventurous Mobile from Raven Illusion Studio. And now, let's get into this trailer.
Oh my god, we do love a mobile game, especially me. I do. So please welcome Precious, the lead developer of Raven Illusion Studio, the lovely creators of Adventurous Mobile Path to Greatness. Hi, Precious.
Hi, thanks for having me on the screen. It's great to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you too. Welcome in. Would you mind telling the audience a little bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is Precious Rogo, and the founder and the lead developer of Raven Illusion Studio, and I'm also the lead developer and designer for the Adventurous mobile and action adventure game, which was released on mobile, iOS, and Android on February 20th.
Okay. Thank you so much. Before we dive into any technical questions, I would want to know how you as a collective and a studio came up with the name Raven Illusion. Do you have a story behind that? Can you please let us know? We just want to know.
Okay. The name, I came up with the name because I've always been a different person. Right from childhood, I've always been different, and I don't know, I just love the Raven bird because it's unique. It's also different too from every other bird, and that's what the name means, because the names reflect our studio's mission, which is to blend mystery with storytelling, which is our main focus. And the raven symbolizes transformation, wisdom, and uniqueness, while the illusion represents magical and the immersive fantasy world we try to create in our game. And this way we get to um, the name embodies our goal to craft narrative that's thought-provoking and motivating at the same time.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Literally. If you could describe your creative process in like 3 words, what would it be?
Okay, I'd say innovative, empathic, and immersive.
Okay.
Why? Okay, why empathic?
Yeah, because our game will try to pass that. We try to teach players to be empathic and coming together as one in Africa, because one of our biggest problems we're currently facing in Africa is that we're not really united. So we want people to have that mind to be empathic and also to be compassionate. So those are parts of the message we try to pass with our games and in our story. So
Okay. I was wondering, based on what you said, have you considered using the game as an educational tool to teach players about Mansa Musa and West African history?
yes, that's the main purpose of the game, because the game will build the game to inspire Africans, to young Africans to chase their dream, chase their vision. Because when people mention Mansa Musa, a lot of people know Mansa Musa, and when they mention Mansa Musa, the first thing that comes to mind is wealth. But Mansa Musa has a lot of other qualities. It's not just only the wealth. Mansa Musa was a visionary leader. He was a compassionate leader. You from the story of what he did in Egypt, the amount of gold he gave to the poor, gave to the amount of people he helped, the amount of charity donations he did. He was a visionary leader, also a resilient leader at that too. So we'll try to pass on those ideologies and through the game to players. So when a player plays the game, we want them to get that idea to chase their dreams, and just like Musa did, be resilient no matter the odds, to go after their vision, go after their dream, and same time when they make it, they're big compassionate and remember home, remember Africa. Because one of the problems we have today in Africa is that a lot of Africans, they go out there and when they finally make it or they finally succeed, they forget about home and they forget to come back home to help people back here in Africa. Yeah, and that's one of the big problems we're currently facing. If all the Africans in diaspora actually come back home and invest in home, Africa will be a lot more better as it is now. So those are part of the.
Okay. This is kind of an aside, but do you feel like you're chasing your dream now? And was there ever a time when you maybe felt like you wanted to give up on your dream?
Yeah, there were never a time, because I'm a very ambitious person, and yeah,
10 toes down.
if I say I'm going to get something, I know I'm going to get it. It might take time, but I know I'm going to get it.
Yeah. I like
that. I kind of look you feel like that's a Nigerian spirit in us. We're very ambitious. We want to make it out there. Even if we all the sweat, blood, and tears will make it out there.
Yeah.
Okay, period. Come on, culture. Come on, history. I love that. So how did you develop the storyline and its connection to historical elements and West African culture? Because obviously for people like me, like there's such an interesting split in the way that we feel connected to Africa as Black people who are not African, right? So how do you like enhance that connection for those historical elements to West African culture?
Okay. While we're developing the story for the games, we made extensive research into Mali's empire, which is during the 13th and 14th centuries, and cultural heritage of Mali and West Africa history during that time. And we did a lot to be able to craft the story so that the story can try to combine both very historical events that took place during that time and as well as fictional events to make the experience more immersive and the historical part is for the educational experience so that people can learn about Africa, learn about what it is, our roots, especially in West Africa, because most of West Africa's civilization started during the 13th, 14th century and through the Malian Empire.
Okay. I have had the chance to play this game, and the visuals and the graphics are hard. They're amazing. And I was wondering, are there any talks about porting Adventurous Mobile to maybe PC or console? Because these graphics have to be seen on a bigger screen. Like, we need to see it. It's beautiful. So, are there any talks? What's going on?
Literally.
Yeah. Their talks were initially the plan was to release the game on consoles and PC. That was our initial plan, but due to budget, is game is self-funded. We funded the game on, so we have a very limited budget. So we have to go for the mobile first, so release the mobile MVP, and try to pitch that to get investment, and also apply for the Xbox acceleration program, and hopefully we will get the funding to help us develop the PC version. That's why you see most of the artwork, most of the trailer, the videos, and all. Like even the main characters, they're of PC quality and not for mobile. Yeah. So our plan, we're going to release the game on PC and consoles in the future.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that you do, that the plans do come through to fruition. I'm manifesting that for you. I was wondering, because of the visuals in the game and how technical the game is, how have players responded to the game? Is anything from the visuals, the mechanics, and has anything been changed based on player feedback?
The feedback for the game has been great, both the negative feedback and the positive ones. They both helped us improve the game, help us work on the game, and we've released countless updates on the game since the MVP release, and all these updates are based on users' feedback, and we take users' feedback seriously because they are the ones we are making the game for. So they have to enjoy it, they have to get that experience and get the message we're trying to pass through the game. Yeah, so we've done a lot of updates, including adding controller support and translations for over 12 different languages based on our players' feedback.
Okay.
So we've done,
Wait, 12 different ones?
Yeah. We have Korean, we have we have French, we have Spanish, we have Portuguese.
You know what I always see? I always feel like Brazil has a really large gaming population. I feel like whenever I see someone posting about like, please put it in a language that is my language, it's Portuguese or Brazilian or something similar. So did you have like any challenges or any obstacles with that, or was that just like a seamless process?
Yeah, we had a lot of it was difficult because initially we released the game without localization, which really affected the game's rating and the first reception of the game, because we thought the game was going to blow up in Africa first, but it didn't blow up in Africa, it blew up in South America. So on the first day of launch, the game was trending in Brazil and India and even Ukraine was trending in these regions. And these regions, they're mostly non-English speakers, and the game was only in English. So a lot of players were frustrated and really affected our rating. So we knew that we had to work really hard to add localization as fast as possible, which was a very difficult process. Yeah, so we had to do that in less than 10 days. We had to work really hard, over 20 hours every day. It was crazy. Those 10 days was crazy. We had to translate it to those language based on the amount of players we have in those regions. So I'm glad we were able to achieve that. And, ever since then, the review has been good. Especially users from those regions, even the Middle East, their reviews have been good.
Okay.
I love it.
I love that. There's a little fun thing that we ask everyone. So there's a trend going around on social media. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's where you post your game and state what 3 other games are the inspirations behind it. So we would like to know what 3 other games inspired Adventurous mobile path to greatness.
Okay, the first game is Enchanted 3. Yeah, I believe you already get that feeling or even playing the game, seeing a trailer. So it was really influenced by Enchanted 3. Enchanted 3 by Naughty Dog. No, Enchanted 3.
Oh, Uncharted.
By Naughty Dog.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
It's one of my favorite games. Yeah, and I just love Naughty Dog, the way they try to tell their stories and the way they tell stories through their game. It's something I really look up to Naughty Dog. And so the game was slightly influenced by Uncharted. And the second game is Assassin's Creed. Because
Assassin's
Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed. Yeah. The second game was Assassin's Creed. Yeah. And the last is Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
It's from the control and most of the mechanics. Yeah, like climbing and all that stuff.
Okay.
Wow.
All these
those
games.
Are 3
different.
Yeah, so eclectic.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Just pick from here, and just.
Wow. Someone said in the chat that's a lot of big explore energy, and each game is different in its own way, but they all have very captivating stories, and that's what your game has. It's a very it's a very interesting story. It's in depth, and there's a lot of history and research behind it, and I love that.
No, that's actually so amazing.
So I think this is gonna be the last question.
Yep. Last question.
Okay. So do you have are you working on plans for a next game that you have coming up, or any kind of similar projects, DLCs, or anything extra to add on to Adventurous Mobile, or are you just gonna create a new other game? Like, tell us what long-term projects that you have and anything upcoming if you can.
Okay. So the current version of the game is just an MVP. We try to put out there and see how the market will react to it, especially the mobile space. Because the mobile space, they are not really used to this kind of games. You'll not see this kind of game on mobile. The games you see on mobile, just basic shooting and no storyline, no message at all. So try to put it out there and see how gamers react to it. So get that feedback and use it and keep working on the game. And there are a lot of DLC we plan on working on, and some of it different from Mali. Some will focus on Nigeria and other parts of Africa. And the next one we're currently working on, would take us back to the 14th century, where you get to play as Abubakar II, who is Musa Musa's brother. I know a lot of people don't know him, but it was a great guy, and it was part of Mansa Musa's success story. So the game will take us back to that DLC. Will take us back to the 14th century, and you get to play. That's where the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag comes in. So the game is it's a sea-based game where you get to play as Mansa Musa's brother Abubakar, and you get to explore Africa and sail all the way to South America. And it's saving slaves that are being transported from Africa, from West Africa to Europe, and to South America. So you get to rescue those slaves and get reward and all that, and you get to discover new land. So in that game, in that DLC, you can sail everywhere in Africa. during that 14th century. You can say to the ancient Benin Kingdom. You can say to different places, even Dakar. Yeah. So
The time.
as player
Hurry it
play.
up. Hurry, we're waiting.
Yeah. So
we're waiting for it expeditiously. Yeah.
We want a DLC now.
And
yes.
we try to put a lot more work on that because we try to make that one a PC standard, PC quality, especially for the voiceovers,
Yeah.
sounds and everything. Yeah, to make a PC quality because that would also be on Steam and on consoles. Yeah, so we're currently working on that.
Nice.
Yeah, and as well, we still keep on updating Adventurous mobile for the mobile games, and it will also be on mobile too. Yeah.
Okay, I love that because
you're ambitious. That's what you said. Precious said, "I'm an ambitious person," and that's what Precious meant. Okay, perfect. Well, I love that. Thank you so much, Precious, for answering our questions and hanging out with us today. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the folks watching?
I'll just say, just like Mansa Musa did in Shades' Dream, it was a very ambitious person. So no matter how ambitious you are, you only go as far as you can imagine. So as long as you can imagine it, you can achieve it. So chase your dream, no matter how the system is designed against you, you can succeed if you keep pushing, if you try. So you just have to try. We have to try to. We have to try. That's why we have Adventurous Mobile. If we didn't try, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have Adventurous Mobile. So we have to try. So one step at a time, and you'll get there at last.
I love that. Oh, thank you so much.
Precious, you might need a podcast too. Hold on, little inspiration in the morning. You know, when you wake up and the alarm goes off and it says you have to get out of bed today. If you don't get out of bed today, who's gonna do it for you? You need to be on there. But if you have any, I see it in chat that we have Ravenillusion.studio in there where you can get Adventurous Mobile, and you can find this on iOS and the Google Play Store. Those are your best chances to get in and before the DLC is locked in, because you're not gonna want to miss it. You're gonna want to be
Come
caught
correct.
up.
Come correct. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure, and
Yes.
I can't wait to see any upcoming updates from your studio. I'm excited. And you already know I am a PC girly, but also I'm a phone girly. So you already know I'm gonna be looking out. I'm gonna be looking out. I'll be all eyes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, bye. All right. So y'all thought we were done. We ain't. We surely ain't. Because up next we have our 10-minute gaming showcase featuring upcoming and newly released games from the continent of Africa. Let's take a look.
Letty Arts is creating a series of interactive games and comics based on African history and folklore brought into the 21st century reality. We are rewriting African history in what we do. What is missing in Africa is the gaming industry, and Letty Arts' mission is to start and stick to gaming and enable all these other industries to join. 5 years ago or 6 years ago we started, we were almost the only ones in sub-Saharan Africa building this. Now we have game companies in Nigeria, Kenya, Cameroon, Uganda. Not only are we building a business, but we are building a whole new industry. What inspired me to do this was, as a child, I've been very much obsessed with video games and comics. So I grew up with Marvel comics and DC comics, Superman, Batman, Thor. I was in love with all those characters and got me thinking, why can't we represent our heritage that could be represented in this light? That will be inspiring for African kids of today to read genuinely about their heritage.
We can't leave him like this.
It's okay. You're going to be fine. We have to stay strong.
Do you know how to use a gun?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Protect your sister, young soldier. Okay, now move it.
Let's go, baby.
See, when did you learn how to use a gun?
I watch YouTube tutorials. I know how to make bombs, too.
That's not funny. What the hell is going on?
Come on, we keep up.
A long, long time ago, right in the center of Africa, two great and powerful neighboring kingdoms fought over a certain valuable river. The two kingdoms were very divided. They shared only one thing in common, a game of strategy, reserved for only the wise and the elite. Meanwhile, a young orphan who had lost all his family in this same year was working in the kitchens of the kings of the kingdoms of Yakoma. One day, while serving the king his morning wine, risking his life, he suggested that the king organize a Kasoro tournament with the enemy. The victor would win for his kingdom complete control of the river. The idea pleased the king, so he informed his court of this great idea that he had just had to resolve the conflict, and dispatched an emissary to his rival, who accepted the proposition. Both kings believed that they had the best Kasoro player in their kingdoms and thought they would go down in history. The king of the Yakomas decided that he would organize a grand tournament in his kingdom to find the champion who would save his nation. One young orphan decided to enter the competition, to beat the greats and take his place in history as the man who ended the war. No one believed he could win, but as in the fable of the fly and the elephant, he was convinced that no matter how strong the enemy, he could win by focusing on his strengths. Do you have what it takes to defeat them all? Download Kasoro the game now for free.
Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody.
Wow.
What an amazing lineup of games. And you already know, I am super excited to try out these games, especially
Yes.
Hot Buns.
Yeah.
Aisha, do you see those cheeks?
I have, yeah, I have seen it. This is so meat coated because I can really fit through the door with all this wagon I'm dragging. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited. The game was basically modeled after me. Our last title for Black Girl Gamers World African Day of Play is Super Dragon Punch Force 3 from Talent Digital Art. So please enjoy this trailer before we get into the interview.
In the ring, I'm fast as lightning. A punch heavier than 10 angry titans. They don't want smoke, we're frightened. Lead them tucked in, lights out when I strike them. Game over, wasted. TKO, giving you the faceless. Might pop off at any occasion. One blow, knock you out of the matrix.
Ultimate power, level up. Rolling full force like a dragon, kill one of the stamina. One punch, it's a KO, a finisher. I'm breaking them bones with a kiss, you're not getting up. Most of the stabs, nobody stopping me, I'm going too fast. I come over the hits, it like bricks on the smash. When I run down your HP, get stronger each time that
this game looks like so much fun, and I hope you all are excited as we are. Please welcome Venus, the art director, and Yanka, the lead game designer of Talent Digital Art.
Yay! Welcome, man, Venus and Yanka.
Thanks, guys.
We are
Thanks for having
so
us.
excited. Hello. We're so excited to hear more about Super Dragon Punch Force 3. How are y'all feeling today?
Yeah, pretty good. A little nervous, especially considering this is probably my first interview stream type situation. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm technically challenged, so yeah, anything might break any moment. That's good.
Okay, I love that. Would you be able to tell us a bit more about yourselves, what you all love to do in your spare time, any hobbies? Just let us get to know you as individuals.
I'll go first. So my hobbies generally are playing games and watching a lot of anime.
Love it.
I'm a weeb, a secret weeb, although it's not secret anymore.
Right, it's not a secret.
Yeah. But those are my two main interests. I also enjoy growing a lot. That's basically how I got into the industry as an AD. So yeah, those are my three favorite things.
Yeah. So me as a game designer, you guessed it, I like playing games. So no, don't get out that much. I don't play that much soccer, and it's mostly sitting in front of the screen, either playing Fortnite with my nephew or trying to beat Venus finally in Super Dragon Punch Force. But that's slow going.
Wait, so y'all play the game to get against each other?
We have to. I mean, it's my life goal to beat Venus. I have to.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, he'll never reach the life goal, but
yeah, I know. I hope it keeps me living forever. Then
he'll never. Okay, I'm crying. So is Venus the best one on the roster, or is there somebody else on the team
No, Venus.
No. There's actually one other person, and he's been killing us for weeks.
Okay, and who is that?
His name is Marley. He's basically our marketing lead, I'd say. And he's marketing lead. He's not even game dev, he's not an artist, he's none of these things, but he's killing every single one of us.
Embarrassing, yeah.
Ooh.
Embarrassing.
I don't think it's embarrassing. I think in the words of Precious, we're ambitious. If we say we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it. So if you're gonna beat this person, I believe in you. Ha ha ha. Anyway.
Someone said that marketing is the final boss.
Exactly. That is true. That is true. That's very anime of you. I love that. If you could describe, either one of you, if you could describe your creative process in 3 words, what would it be?
So my creative process is a bit weird. I start first by trying to figure out what is, I'd say, the weirdest thing I could do with my art, because I'm in a space where there is, I don't know if you guys know of a place called ArtStation, but ArtStation has a very, I'd say, generic Eastern Western style, right?
Yeah.
So for me, to set yourself apart, I like to sort of draw things that are vastly different from what we see there. That's the international standard, but I like to draw something different, even though that's the international standard. That's the first and big and most important thing. After that, once I've sort of identified the idea that I want, I usually try to find, because the reality is everything you've drawn already exists. So I try to find an instance of that already exists, and then try to mix it with other things that I thought would be cool. So an example would be, I want to draw a knight. A knight already exists, so I find the image of a knight, but then I mix it with a cat, and so I'm trying to make a cat knight. This is theoretically the most different thing you could imagine. This would be very hard to draw, so that excites me. And then the last part of the creative process is keeping that vision in mind of a cat knight, and also trying to make it international standard, and hopefully that creates something new. That's the general idea.
And then my days is being spent trying to make a cat knight work in a game environment.
I love it. Thank you.
I find it kind of funny how you're describing your thought process, and I can see a art pen in your hand as we speak.
Art pen, that's my finger. It's my finger.
No, it was definitely art pen. I know art pen when I see one.
Yeah.
But
Proud of you.
I honestly I find that very everyone has like a chaos kind of like mindset when it comes to create something, but once it actually happens, it's like, wow, I did that out of the chaos that was in my head. I would like to know, what was the initial inspiration behind Super Dragon Punch Force 3, and how did the idea evolve over time?
Go for it, Clint.
So Super Dragon Punch Force 3 was inspired by a game in a movie called BKW, so Boy Kills World. So in that movie, there's a game called Super Dragon Punch Force 2. So we essentially made a sequel to a game, a fictional game, in a movie.
That's so fire. Because if you wouldn't have told us that, we would have never known. And now when I'm like 47 and I'm like at the club at night, just like, hey, did you know? Have you ever seen Boy Kills World? Yeah. And then you know that game? It's like my very obscure, like, you should be nice to me fact. I love that.
I know all the things basically.
Exactly.
So yeah,
exactly.
And what's cool about Boy Kills World is like it's got this very like gritty retro fighting element to it, and we pulled some of that retro stuff from the film and the game style in the film, because in the film it's kind of got a retro style, and we moved it to like a modern space, so it feels a little bit more anime, it feels a little bit more modern, but it still has some of those retro vibes from back in the day.
And that movie is new, right? Like, it's newer.
Yes. Yeah, Boy Kills World is pretty new. I think it came out a few weeks back.
Yeah, you can still see it in the cinemas, and there's the digital release is quite soon. So it's actually see if you can spot Super Dragon Punch Force 2 in there.
Okay, great. I'll be looking for it. So also just to touch on the art style, because we obviously know how beautiful the game is in terms of art style. I love everything. I cannot express enough how much I love unique art styles and styles that aren't necessarily like what we're used to seeing. So some of that is anime inspired. So what are your top 3 anime inspirations for the art style?
So this one's pretty hard because I mean I watch a lot of anime, and again when it comes to game development, not everything that you are has to be incorporated. It's kind of a mix of like everyone else's vision to make one new thing, hopefully. So in terms of like I'd maybe say in terms of game inspiration and less anime inspiration, it would be like Guilty Gear, which is a very anime styled game.
I can see that.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys have played it. Yeah, it's got like very cel shaded, looks very anime, essentially like you're playing an anime game. That was a really, really big inspiration. Another, if I had to sort of point at an anime, it probably has to be your typical shonen stuff. I'm not a shonen weeb. I love my stuff seinen, but shonen has done some of the best sort of anime that we can imagine. So Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, all the stuff that everybody's watched. What I do like about that, and what was a key inspiration for us, is that they take these somewhat bizarre worlds and tell really cool stories around them, and have the characters progress through those stories in a way that's not too extreme and ridiculous. And we did the same here. A lot of our characters have some really interesting backstories. Like one of my favorite characters, Deb, I had to say it. Deb was one of my favorite characters in the game for the simple fact that she's actually a god character, but she's trapped in a mechanical body. So she's extremely powerful. She's trapped in this little body, and that's a very anime narrative. So that's sort of one of the inspirations.
Absolutely.
So generally, shonen and Guilty Gear.
Yeah, and we can see Deb on the screen. Deb looks kind of fire. You know what I mean? This character creation is so it's so beautiful.
It's a scream for me. I've been I really want to know which, like, I want to know, can you describe the process of designing each and every character? How did you ensure each character's appearance aligns with their abilities and their personality? I would like to know, please.
Bianca can start design side.
Yeah, I start with the boring stuff, and we're gonna get back to Venus on the really cool looking stuff. So like for us, it was really important. Most fighting games, they would start with mechanics centric gameplay. So it would be like, if you look at there's a couple of core mechanics that every fighting game has, and they kind of build their character around it. And sometimes, not always, but you get that where characters kind of start feeling the same. So when it's a punch, just punching differently. We really wanted our game to be character centric. So we wanted, like, every character we design has a unique mechanic, core mechanic that they have to function around. So one of the core design principles we have is like this kind of simplicity. We want like a new player to be able to pop into the game, bash buttons, and just feel like awesome. Like feel like I can play this game. I don't have to be a veteran in fighting games. I can just play. So because of that, we kind of limited the amount of buttons we have. We have 4 buttons that the players need to know about, and each character kind of functions around those. So the previous clip we saw SK, the Pansula character, fighting against Deb, and she has to manage we call it spikes, but it's basically her notes from a boombox. She has to manage that. And these two, Boy, he has like a bullet mechanic that he has to work around with. There's like certain windows where he's more effective than other times. And then June, the character he's fighting, both of these are from the movie actually, from Boy Kills World. And June, when she has her axe equipped or not, she kind of functions completely differently. She has I think she currently has the most abilities in the game, because she has a whole different set depending on whether she's got her axe equipped or not. So that's like the boring stuff, and then Venus just makes it pop with with how the characters look and feel.
He says the boring stuff, but funny enough, like literally without the game design, the game will not function. Like if it as pretty as we want it, like it's just not gonna work. So what we do, what's cool is like because we're somewhat new at this, our process is kind of it's mixed. Sometimes we start somewhat with design and narrative, and then we create a character from that. Sometimes we start with the character, we create a design from that. So what we usually do is we just try to take, like as I mentioned earlier with the process, a juggler. So you know, in terms of speaking fighting game terminology, a juggler exists, right? Every fighting game has a juggler. So we just look at like what does the average juggler look like in most games, and then tie it to the game design and tie it to the narrative and our story, and say how do we then add a spin that makes it different from what exists in the market, but also close to what we have in our game in terms of narrative and stuff.
Yeah, okay, love that.
And based on that, I kind of have a feeling I have to design a cat night on Monday. That's coming on Monday.
Not yet.
To carry on from the animation and the art styles, I want to ask Yanka, how did you maintain consistency in the animation quality across different characters and the moves?
That's quite interesting. So Venus does most of that. I basically give them kind of restrictions. He has an animation team that works with him. We basically give them the frames that they're allowed to work with, which they kind of hate us for, because how the fighting games work, there's like these little actions that need to happen. So you have to have we call it like we have like a startup, which is like when you start lifting your fist, and then the active where you actually land the shot, and you recovery when you pull it back, and all those have this kind of balance within a fighting game. Like you can see it on stage now, but Venus will then take those limitations and make it look. So Venus, do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, basically what Yanka said. It's the worst thing ever. It's no joking. So essentially, how we sort of try to make the animations unique and interesting is, again, same principle. We look at what exists in the market, but what's cool is because we have frame data, it does kind of make things a little bit complicated, but also makes them easier for us, because we know that we have, say for example, 7 frames, and we have to make it look a very specific way within those 7 frames. So that to us is actually a plus. It's a lot different from, say for example, animated film. You can sort of just animate within a minute and you just have endless frames, right? So for a creative, it's actually always better to have limitations. So yeah, the most important thing for us was, again, once we identify the narrative for the character, we identify their abilities and how they're designed. The animation then flows fairly easily from there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yazia, is that the name? Is that how you say it? Yazia, yeah.
I'm living.
I like this character very much. I like this character very much. Everything that I'm looking at right now, I feel very happy about it. I want you to know.
Muscle mommies, just saying.
Okay, all right, wrap it up, Venus. Wrap it up. So anyway, what were your biggest challenges that you faced in the art direction and animation, and how did you overcome them?
The biggest challenge I'd say, because I come from like a film background, and if I worked in the gaming space, a lot of the times I was like the character concept artist and the illustrator. Working as AD on a game is a lot more difficult because you have a raw idea, and a lot of the times there are 10 other departments that have to influence that idea, right? So it's design team, it's a development team, it's the narrative team. So you have to essentially come up with an idea and constantly sort of shift until it matches as close to your vision as you want, but also hits all the notes for each of the departments. So that's been the biggest challenge. No character stays exactly the same from conception. So if, for example, we do the cat night, like the time we release the game, it might be like a dog wrestler. It won't be a cat night again. It matches what's required for the game. But we found a way to still make it. That would be the biggest challenge.
Okay. And how about you, Yanko?
Like, when it comes to what it looks like totally up to Venus. Like I wouldn't even, I draw stick figures for a living. I mean, I have no clue. but in terms of design, I mean, we go through like rigorous processes to kind of match it. And as Venus said at the beginning, sometimes it's a art downwards kind of approach, and other times it's a design upwards. Like we kind of take turns on who gets to have the say.
Okay. Interesting. I do have so we have some people joining us currently in the chat, and I would definitely like to know, how would you describe Super Dragon Punch Force to a new player, especially a new player that's not into fighting games, anything like that?
Yeah, I think like one of the things that is like super important to us is if you're a new player, like you might have looked at other fighting games, you would have thought like, oh wow, this looks really cool. I've seen these combos, they look amazing. I mean, the visuals look amazing. The guys look really cool when they're fighting, but you think like, I can't do that. I just don't have the dexterity. I don't have the patience to learn those combos. So we were really passionate about making this game that's simple for a new player to play. You don't have to like a fighting game to be able to do this. We're going to make you feel cool. We have the approach of you can bash a couple of buttons and have some relative success, but we still wanted it to be in a place where a professional or veteran player can look at this like, yeah, sure, you can bash those buttons, but if I understand the nuances, I can still beat you. So we have that kind of duality there. The second part that's like really important to us is this kind of accessibility. I mean, you can play on mobile, you can play on Steam at the moment. We're looking at other platforms as well. It's free. I mean, you can play free. You can play anytime you want. You have 2 minutes of downtime. Pop in the game, go in a quick match, like a couple of minutes, you're out. And those are like two of the main things that are like really important to us.
Okay, I love that.
Wow.
And listen, I'm also the kind of person that's not into fighting games of that kind of area, but this thing
you can fight against me, you don't have to fight against Venus.
I'm too scared, but this thing has been on my phone. I've been playing non-stop. So I was like, okay, now I have another obsession that's taking up my phone space.
Literally. I know. I might actually download games onto my phone after the World Day of Play for the first time since probably the start of the pandemic. I had to get the phone games off because I have one of those personalities that'll just be on the phone all the time, and then 2 days have passed and they're like, hey, we haven't seen you at work. Oh, sorry.
Perfect. We got you. Just come.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So we're gonna get into some of like the details of the game, and can you explain the design process between like the combat system and what makes that specifically very unique compared to other fighting games?
So basically, I think it's similar to what I described previously. The fact that we're very character centric. Again, like here with Boy and June, we really want the player to like find the character that they like and the play style that they like, and never have to feel like this guy's just the same as the other guy. You know, so whenever we look to someone, we specifically we have a couple of new characters in the works. We have one that'll be releasing soon, and one that we started developing. And we'll always start with that little, like, what's gonna be fun about this character? What's gonna be fun? What kind of little mini play elements is around this character? Like this other one that was briefly on stage there, Jace is one of my favorites. He's gonna kind of have this gadget style gameplay where he has these gadgets, but you don't always know what you're going to get. There's a bit of a randomness to it, and you have to compensate in the middle of the fight depending on which one actually came out. But as a player of Jace, you might get used to it a lot more than your opponent might know how to react against each one. So there's that kind of gameplay in there. And then with Deb, I mean, Venus's favorite, she's a bit of a footsie character. She tries to keep people at range. She just tries to keep there, and she has got this very powerful mechanic, like a parry mechanic that we have there. If you can time it correctly, you can redirect the attack to the opponent. So we always try to focus on that, like what is the core of this character, and that's always going to be our approach for what is going to make this character unique in its entire play style, not just another punch.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite character?
Yeah.
Me, that's Wally. Has to be Wally. The big Walrus guy. Yeah. He's slow and powerful. That like just suits me. Like if it goes too fast, like I don't have to worry. I can just weather the storm.
Period.
That's true.
What about you, Venus?
I think it's gonna be Dev. My second favorite is SK, just because for the culture. But Dev for me is my favorite for sure.
My favorite actually is Wally and Yaz. Yaz is a hell of a woman. That's what I have to say. Yaz is a hell of a woman. So that's what I have to say. I say what I say.
That's all you said.
That's all you said. That's all I said. And honestly, from the reactions in the chat, it's been immensely positive, and it's amazing. So how has the community received Super Dragon Punch Force 3? Has there been any surprising reactions, any feedbacks that you've taken so far? And if you had any feedback, what's the most valuable piece of feedback that you have received?
I think for me, like, sorry Venus, I need to jump in here because it was like super surprising to me. It's like so we had the Brazilian community that kind of picked up the game, and they just started their own tournaments around it, and that was like didn't expect that at all. So to me it was like kind of this very nice. You always expect the internet to be a bit mean, but I mean to have this kind of positive feedback. I mean Venus, like his art style is amazing, so people always attached to that as well. And just kind of this positive feedback from people, and like we're playing it competitively. That was like really amazing to me. Sorry, Venus.
No, 100%. That's you said what I was gonna say. Like the feedback has been pretty positive. And I think same as with Yanka, like I am always surprised. Generally, as an artist, personally, I think if you're an artist of your sort, I always see stuff as in a very pessimistic light. Always assume the worst. But then when the game came out, and there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, this actually looks great," and the game mechanics work quite nicely, I was pleasantly surprised. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And honestly, it seems like people in South America and Brazilians are doing it, are doing God's work because they are doing it.
And they're playing games. We need to get down there. I don't know. I need to take a trip. That's fine.
And then now, like the holding tournaments, esports. That's where it's
so cute. Actually, could you imagine what if Super Dragon Punch Force had a whole tournament cycle? You know what I mean?
I will sign up.
One day.
I'm just saying. I can play fighter games. They don't scare me at all. So I'm really excited.
And with what you mentioned, about the people making their own gameplay style, making tournaments, what measures have you taken to support this kind of play and to foster a healthy online community? Because that's very important in the gaming industry and in this time that we're in.
I think for us is like firstly acknowledging, the different types of gamers. Like even in fighting, if somebody wants to be a bit more casual, if somebody wants to be competitive, somebody wants to just play against the AI, or wants to wreck someone else online like Venus. So we basically have these various ways you could play. You have your casual game modes. We have our ranked for both PvE and PvP. We have a league system that'll be coming soon. And with all these, it's like really important to us that there's kind of attainable goals. So like using myself as an example again, I will never be a diamond ranked player. Like I'm not that great. But I mean, I could potentially be within the groupings that we have. We have like these little attainable goals groupings where I could be the best bronze player in my series. You know, like I could do that. There's something attainable to me. And like, and if I improve, I mean, I can go up to silver. Like I can keep on going. But there's always that chance of you being within the area that are really matched. Not the best in 100,000. We kind of group them down to groups of 50s. You're kind of teamed up with. But you can be the best in that group. You can always do that. So that's kind of what we feel will be like really important. That again, you can be a new player. You can just jump in there and you kind of improve slowly and be the best within your group.
Oh, I love that. And do you have anything to add, Venus?
No, Yaka put it pretty effectively, because especially when it comes to community stuff, personally, I just look at the positive comments and don't really worry about all the other stuff. I'm just more focused on the art style stuff. Yeah.
Listen, I feel like after this, I think I need a 1v1 because everyone is saying that they can't beat you, you know, that kind of stuff. So I need to find out for myself what's going on.
Don't turn on that fight energy. Chill.
Well, listen, that's what I'm saying. Listen, once I clock out.
Oh my God. You know what? And that's fine. This is what we needed to end the day with. We absolutely needed some sort of punchy punch game, and I love that for us. We're going to be punching all day. So our last question is going to be we've asked all of our other developers as well. So there's a trend going around of where you post your game and then you post the 3 games that inspired it. So what are the 3 games that inspired Super Dragon Punch Force 3? And obviously we heard some Guilty Gear from earlier. So like what else might be on that list?
So at least, I'll say outside and then Yanka. I think there might be slightly different ones, but outside for us was like Guilty Gear, of course, because I don't know if you know the developer Arc Systems, but all of the games they've made are like anime style, and they're very appealing because they've done DB Fighter Z, they've done Guilty Gear, DNF Duel, etc. So Guilty Gear was like, for me, fan favorite. Second game that inspired us was Skullgirls. Now the inspiration necessarily wasn't from the art style, but it was just the fact that they were able to do a 2D style game. It took years. But they did a 2D style game with very different mechanics, unique approach to the design mechanics that I really liked. And then a third game, again, not in terms of style, but in terms of just how big it became, is League of Legends. I love their approach to skins and character designs and stuff. It's really, really nice. So, yeah.
Listen, Asia.
Someone's into League.
Yeah, Asia's into League. You already know. You can tell by her reaction.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm actually so happy. I don't know what to tell you. For anyone who doesn't know, Skullgirls came out in like 2012, and that it kind of felt like what's the cup game? You know, the one that's really Cuphead. Yes, it had that kind of similar kind of like vibe and feel. So that's really cool to see that inspiration came from there. But yes, I love League of Legends. They'll never let me go, and I'll never let them go. But what about you, Yanka?
I think I'd be remiss if I also didn't say Guilty Gear, because my combat designer just like he loves going to Guilty Gear. But also in terms of mechanics, we were really, because we wanted this fast, fluid gameplay that's like easy to digest. We really latched onto Flappy Fighter, which was a game that was briefly on the mobile scene, and then. In terms of frame data, the kind of how we want to pace ourselves, we really look at Street Fighter as well. So those 3, like in terms of design, those are the ones we really like.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, y'all have put me on to new games. I'm about to fill up my phone. Y'all put me on to new games because
just don't play League. It's super toxic.
No. I will avoid League. I will avoid League for sure.
That's not.
But
all right. All this slander. No one signed up for that. And wrap it up.
But you know, honestly, y'all have put me on to a lot of different things to play, as well as watch Boy Killed World. I didn't know about that, so I'm about to find out. Yeah,
Awesome movie.
I'm about to find out. Honestly,
it's so recent.
This has been a lot of fun, and I have enjoyed y'all energy. Is matched. I love
So
your
good.
energy, and that I feel like everyone came with vim and with energy and just good vibes, and I love it. I
Yeah.
love it, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm still waiting for my 1v1, but I'll see you afterwards. Yeah,
You'll
Yeah,
get me
exactly.
outside.
I will see you outside. I'll see you outside. Yes.
Wow.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you all so much for being here. Before we go, I would like to, is there anything you would like to say to the audience watching today? Go ahead. Say what you need to say.
I think I want to latch onto this QR code that you'll see on the screen. You can just scan that and you can click you straight to the game. And then Venus will be waiting for you there to fight you.
Oh my god, guys. Now I have a queue of people wanting to fight me.
That's crazy.
Only thing I want to say...
Pent up aggression, man. It's for the cat night.
No. All I'm going to say is there's a new character coming, there's a lot of new content coming, new skins. We're looking to improve the art style of the game, improve the general feel of the game, the environments, all that stuff is improving over the next year, so look forward to it.
Listen, I'm excited. We love improvement. We like receiving feedback and improving on the feedback. We love 1v1s outside. Okay, I am excited. So if y'all are also excited to play Super Dragon Punch Force 3, it's available on Steam, iOS, and Google Play Store. Or you can scan the code on the screen right now, or type !Punch Force in the chat for the link. Thank you so much, Venus and Yanka, for coming through. We had a lot of fun, and I love your vibes. I hope that we get to work together in the future and keep communicating. Like I live for this. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yay. And so that wraps up our gameplay session for today. And a huge thank you to all the developers who joined us and shared their amazing games for BlackGirlGamers World Africa Day of Play. I've been your host, Asia, and I'm a whimsical variety streaming photographer based in Indiana. And you can find me at Call Me Asia on all platforms. Asia with a Z, of course.
And I have been your host, Mary, the content manager for BlackGirlGamers, a variety content creator, and a born and bred Nigerian repping my Niger folks out here. You can find me on It's Marigold with Eva _ X on all platforms. Thank you to our wonderful audience for being with us today. We really appreciate you chiming in and having good vibes. We hope you enjoyed the event as much as we did. And thank you all for all the donations to Project Hope and War Child. You can continue supporting these organizations by donating and sharing. Be sure to type !Hope or !War Child in the chat for more information.
Yes,
it's been good.
Absolutely. It's been so good. Actually, we should do this every year, I think. I think we should do this. I think it should be an annual event. You know what I mean? I think we need to bring it back because now we have some more studios that we need to look out for, that we know some DLCs on the way. We're so excited to keep that in the old repertoire and figure out what's going on, you know what I mean? But we want to make sure that y'all keep the conversation going with the hashtag World Africa Day of Play. Please tag us. We want to see your content. We want to see your thoughts, your comments, your concerns, your questions. Tell us that we looked very beautiful for our hosting event today. Thank you so much. And before we go, we have amazing panels for World Africa Day of Play over on YouTube. That's over on the BlackGirlGamers YouTube channel. You can type !YouTube into the chat to check them out, and go check out those as well.
But hold on. Before we go, I just want to give a huge shout out to not only to the devs for taking their time out for this event, but to our lovely producer Kat, also known as Kopakashi.
Okay, thank you.
Kopa did that.
Yes, she is the most nicest and talented producer I know, and she is responsible for all of the behind the scenes live action. She has been in and out all day, making sure everyone is comfy, making sure everyone has everything that they need. And we could not do the stuff that we are doing at this scale, at this level, without people like Kopakashi. And when I tell you she's the mightiest being, she's the mightiest being.
Yes. And I would like to see y'all spam some love in the chat for Copa.
Exactly.
I need y'all to acknowledge talent when you see one.
Oh, period. Period.
She did that. She killed it. She made sure everybody was comfortable and made sure that everything went through smoothly. And we're just so grateful. Thank you all so much for watching and being here and just being good vibes and good energy. We are excited to have this project come to life, and we hope to do this again. Honestly, if you lit, we want to do this again. I hope you all have a lovely day. Stay hydrated and beautiful. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.